Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. How are you and you and you? Welcome to our international audience as well, folks watching from all around the world, the United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, South America, the Netherlands, Ireland, England, Scotland, Sweden, Switzerland, you name it, France, Japan, all throughout Asia, Australia, New Zealand, all points of the globe. This is the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, the Jim Masters Show Live, and I'm Jim Masters. It's good to have you with us. I do this work professionally. I'm a television and radio presenter, personality, host, journalist, actor, writer, producer, voice MC, voiceover narrator, as well as voice actor and stage MC. And I've done this work for a long time. And we created this show back in the spring. It's a traditional talk show, just like you remember from the traditional TV shows and talk shows of the past, like Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett and Dick Clark and some of the other great legendary talk show hosts. So we have lots of great, inspiring conversation, terrific entertainment, and we talk about everything from food to the arts, television, radio, music, film, Hollywood. We have great guests from all around the world. Folks from all fields of endeavor and wealths of success. And we have a lot of good times on this show and lots of positivity and inspiration. If with everything that's going on, that's crazy in the world, you're looking for a place where you can relax, where you can be welcomed, where you're not judged, where you're going to have a good time, you're always going to learn something, be educated, informed, you'll be entertained, you'll live feeling really good, then this is the place, the Jim Masters Show Live, because that's what we designed this show to be as an extension of my professional work in the industry. We brought in the television lights and built this home studio, and we are here doing everything that we can to inspire you, uplift you, put smiles on your face, and do it with lots of levity, and as we call it, lovity. And lovity happened only because of a mistake. I was saying light, love, and levity back in the summertime, and I said it too fast. So I said love and levity really quickly, and I created lovity. And ever since we did that, this whole show has become about lovity, which I think is very, very cool. The viewers around the world call themselves the Lovities. They call me Mr. Lovity. They call this Lovity Hall. And our audience continues to grow by leaps and bounds. It's absolutely amazing. Again, not just across the United States and Canada here in North America, but all around the world, people are telling each other, you know, what's really cool when the guests come on, they enjoy it so much. They always say, when can I come back? So many guests say, I want to come back on the show. And we absolutely love that. And also they tell other people, hey, I was on the show. You should go on the show. And it's just been absolutely amazing. So if you're new to the show, we welcome you. Today, we're going to have lots of, as we call it, Irish crack, because we've got a brilliant artist that's coming on, good friend of our show, George Hutton. Of course, you know, is a brilliant Irish singer and songwriter and performer. And he's a good friend of many of the artists you've seen as my guests on the Jim Masters Show Live. Of course, like Phil Coulter. And if you didn't see that episode with the incomparable Phil Coulter, who really had a wonderful time on the show, and it was a blessing to have him with us as well, go back in our archives. You can see all of the past episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Right now, we're on YouTube, broadcasting internationally, and we say, good day to all of you. This is our fabulous mug from Pine Island, Florida, USA, from one of our faithful Lovity viewers, Mary Bishop. We thank her very much. We have something rather delicious in this mug. I'll tell you what it is later. But it puts a smile on your face. Good day, everybody. Why don't you make yourself an Irish coffee? I know it might be late. It's 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, England right now, and it's 3 p.m. here. And that's why we're doing our show earlier. For those of you just joining us, we usually do our show at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, every single day. We've done about 230 episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live, day after day. Yesterday, we had 2 episodes. We had Greek tenor Mario Frangoulis on with us, and he was live from Athens, Greece. And then live from Long Beach, California at 7 p.m. last night, we had Billboard charting composer, musician, and producer Terry Wollman, both great episodes. So we had 2 shows yesterday, and today we're doing it earlier because our guest is in Ireland, where it's 8 p.m. So we didn't want him to have to start singing and having a lot of conversation at midnight. Not that he wouldn't be able to do it, just we wanted to, have it where he can do it earlier. Plus, his fans who are watching right now in Europe can also watch it at an earlier time. So we adjusted our time earlier for our fabulous guest. We welcome all the new viewers too who have been joining us, and of course all of our faithful lovedies like Willie, who's watching in Holland. Hello, dear Jim and lovedies. Greetings from Holland. Good day. I know you love the earlier time, Willie, so you don't have to go to bed. Good to see you there in the Netherlands. Mary Bishop is here. Nice to see you, Mary. And again, thank you very much for this beautiful mug that you sent. I use it often. Really nice. Hi, Jim, lovely friends, and George, Mary Bishop in Florida. And thank you very much. This uplifting content and uncertain times really helps me get out of bed in the morning. Great work, guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very beautiful and warm and soulful comments there. I'm happy to know you enjoy the Jim Masters Show live. That puts, a tingle in my heart. We'll keep it up, that's for sure. And you keep watching and tell all your friends about our show. Good afternoon, Jim and all lovelies. It's a wonderful day. And Wozniak, yes, it is. Anybody on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Jim Masters TV, let those folks know that we are on YouTube right now at Jim Masters TV. Bernadette says, hi, Jim and everyone. Good to see you, Bernadette. Rita Mazzella is here. Happy Sunday, Jim. Good to see you, Rita, in New York City. Suzette is here. Good evening from Portugal. Good to have you with us once again from beautiful Portugal, Suzette. We love having you here. Rita says, happy everyone. Hi, happy Sunday. Hi, everyone. Juanita says, hi, Jim, and all the lovely lovelies. Wonderful Juanita from South Africa is with us as well. Rita says, love from Brooklyn, New York, USA. Suzette says, hi, Jim, and everyone. We love that. And everybody's saying hello to each other. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Thanks for all these great comments coming in here. This is fantastic. Merlin in Ontario, Canada says, hi again, Jim and lovedies. Happy Sunday. We love it. Good to see you. Hope your day's going well, Merlin. And we're going to have lots of music and conversation and lots more. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio, USA says, happy Sunday, Jim and lovedies from Cleveland, Ohio. Go Browns. I love the Jim countdown. So fun. Thank you very much, Rita. And I'm so glad you're enjoying our shows. Bernadette says, glad to see some newer folks returning. That's right. They're all now new lovedies on the show, right, Bernadette? Time for some Irish crack, sláinte. You bet it. Yeah, it's coming your way. You better believe it. And Jim is the best. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sherry. Hello, Jim and lovedies. So excited to see you all here in Lovedy Hall. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very, very nice for you to say that. And I welcome you as well. Everybody's saying hello. Merlin in Ontario, Canada says, welcome, George, to Lovedy Hall. You're now a Lovedy. I tell all the guests to expect the Lovedy wave to come their way. Lots of Lovedy. Happy Sunday, everyone, from Southern California. Ann is here. Hope you're all having a beautiful weekend. Looking forward to another awesome show. Thank you very much. We want Jim. We want Jim. Thank you very much. Am I running for office? I should maybe. Always a pleasure to see you again, Rita, as well. And all the lovedies here that are commenting away. This is fantastic. Thanks for all these great comments, everybody. Kathleen is here in New York City. Hi, Jim, and hi, everyone. Good to see you as well. And you're running downstairs to make yourself an Irish coffee. Fantastic, fantastic. I love that. Good to see everybody. And we're so excited to have our very special guest, George Hutton, here. And again, I'm sure you're familiar with his work. If you're not, you will certainly learn about this amazing individual. He's very, very talented and a good friend of our show here. Grew up in Derry, and George was immersed in the music of Luke Kelly and Ronnie Drew, the Dubliners, and so many more. As a teenager, the local trad session was his classroom, and the folk tradition became ingrained in his musical DNA, with his mother, Maria Callas-led kitchen playlist adding to the mix. The young singer absorbed every voice he heard, laying the foundation for his eclectic approach to songs. Emerging from all this, a unique and remarkable voice was born. His vocal dexterity was soon spotted by the legendary Columbia artists in New York, who signed him to their roster of world-renowned performers. A string of sold-out tours of the U.S. and Canada soon followed. A keen footballer, while not on tour, he achieved after 14 seasons his ambition of winning a senior championship medal with a local GAA club, and is a former European powerlifting champion to boot as well. He embarked on his solo career with the hugely successful debut album, Chapter 1, which was soon followed by the critically acclaimed Home. All the time, he was quietly developing his songwriting skills, which can now be heard in his new single, The Light. Very honored to welcome to our show, the Jim Masters Show Live, our very special guest, live and direct from Derry, Ireland. Yes, beautiful Derry, the one and only George Hutton is here. Hey, George, welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
How you doing, Jim? It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I don't think I've ever been introduced like that before, so that was pretty special.
It's my pleasure. Oh, it's my pleasure, my friend, and welcome from beautiful Derry. And I just want to show you some of the levity coming your way already, which is famous on this show. Welcome to the show, George.
Hello.
Welcome to the show from Juanita in South Africa. And I know it's an international audience. Kathleen in New York City.
Hello.
Hi, George, and welcome. Rita in New York City says, welcome, George.
Hello.
Bernadette. I know, just press the buttons. Hello. Welcome, George, to Lovely Hall. You already know we love your songs. Bernadette loves your songs and the poems that you've been releasing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really, really cool. Mary Bishop, of course. Welcome, George. Been loving your daily poems. They are brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Rita Mazzella, love music and learning about new artists. Thanks, Jim. It is my pleasure as well. And really, really nice to see all these terrific comments. So how are you doing there in Derry? You're with your folks, right?
I am indeed, Jim. I am indeed, yeah. I'm back in our family home. So I'm here with my mother and father and my older brother, Edward. There's actually 9 of us. I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers, so quite a few of them are scattered across the globe. So they, it was so sad, like they couldn't come home for Christmas, obviously, with everything that's going on. But I have to say, it's been nice, being able to be home and to be with my mother and father, particularly during sort of, the uncertain times that this pandemic has brought. But I'm doing my best, Jim, taking everything a day at a time. I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm still collaborating with fellow artists and musicians. So just trying to, as you said in your introduction there about, just trying to stay positive and showing people love and compassion and just taking everything a day at a time, but constantly working on my craft. So, certainly that's never going to stop, regardless of the pandemic. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How have you been dealing with, obviously, Ireland has been on some pretty strict and stringent lockdowns in the last several months. Lockdown and then release a little bit and then more lockdown, just in reaction to this rotten COVID situation all around the world. How have you been maintaining your sense of sanity and hope and positivity while still being creative too?
Yeah, well, I suppose initially, that was quite difficult because with things closing and then reopening, for example, just at the turn of this year, I was supposed to go on tour with Phil Coulter. So we had, the guts of about 35 concerts cancelled. I then had, I had my own gigs in the mix as well that were cancelled. And it has been difficult, but I think now that I've become more used to this, I knew that it was important not to be waiting around in the hope that, everything's going to kick off again like normal. It's not, and it's not going to be like that, I think, for another while yet. So I suppose I took the time out to start really working on my own original material. And I'm very lucky, I've worked with some amazing musicians. One in particular, Paul Casey, who has produced both my albums and my 2 most recent singles. And what's great is we've actually been able to do an awful lot in isolation. So I've been able to record, like Paul would send me parts, then I can record, a vocal over that. then it gets sent back to Paul, and it's sent to other musicians, and then before you know it, things start coming together. So it's certainly, although I do miss the experience of being in a studio, there's nothing quite like it, and the sort of just the feeling that you get, and the sort of creative, how you can really express yourself in that environment. But that aside, I've still been able to get so much done. As much as I really miss performing live, but I'm still able to get music out there, and that's really the most important thing, at the minute. And I'm able to provide people with, it's just like you said, I want to try and help uplift people, in these difficult times. So I think one of the big things that I've taken from all this is to try and be more honest with myself and ask myself tough questions, like, where do I want to be as an artist when things do return to normality? And I think I know that I really want to delve into the world of becoming my own original artist. And I think my last two singles have sort of shown that. The first one I released sort of spring 2020 was a song called The Rising Steam, which was all about, it's effectively a song about me and my mother, and me as a boy, and the journey of that relationship with my mother, which is a fantastic one, and I'm very blessed to have her in my life.
Sure.
And then my most recent release, The Light, is a love song. It's about falling in love. I wrote it in a little place outside Kenmare in County Kerry, and we turned it into, we wanted to make it something quite contemporary, so we made it certainly isn't your sort of traditional song. It's we tried to make it sort of eclectic, and I think it's thank God it's got a great response. I've been lucky. There's a fantastic Irish music magazine called Hot Press Magazine, and a brilliant man, Mark Hogan, who does has done a lot of work for some great artists over the years, and I'm very lucky that I've been working with Mark as well. So we did. I was asked to do as part of Van Morrison's 75th birthday. We did. I was asked to perform a song. So we did one called "Born to Sing," and the Hot Press sort of put it out there with all the other artists that were asked to do it. And there were some amazing artists like Glenn Hansard, Hosier, big names that were asked to do it too. So as well as amazing, local artists too in Ireland and stuff, or those that are sort of on the rise. So it was fantastic to be asked to be part of all that, even though we're in a pandemic. So it's been. And then I was asked to do one of their Y&E sessions, Young and Emerging sessions. And what was really nice about that was, so this was before full lockdown again. So I was able to perform in a local record store, and we streamed live from myself and Paul Casey on guitar. We were able to perform live from a local record store. So it was really nice to sort of do it. The store's called Cool Discs, by the way, in Derry, so I'll give them a shout out.
Absolutely.
And they've been a purveyor of local music for such a long time, and it was just a really nice experience to be performing live in a place that it's the only record store we have left here, and it was really nice to just sort of be in that environment and to have the music going out to all the sort of people that tune into Hot Press Magazine and stuff. So it's been it's been an amazing turning point for me, to be honest. It's still extremely difficult, obviously, but I'm trying to take, more positives from it than negatives. I mean, the two of us could sit here now and list off all the, how tough it's been, but we're all, I think, like for example, this fantastic work that you're doing is allowing artists like me the opportunity to sort of extend my audience and hopefully meet some new music lovers, and hopefully make a few new fans, and I hope they enjoy my music. I wish I had a full band here, but I don't. So,
I know that, and you can tell that you wanted to have a full band, and you would have had that, but and you're still going to perform some things, which we
Yeah,
really appreciate. But normally you would have the full band, but the lockdown makes it really, it's difficult for people to get together because you really can't.
yeah. I mean, everybody. I mean, so we're not supposed to be traveling any further than 5 kilometers.
Which isn't
Everybody.
far. Yeah.
So it's just far. There's
The
nobody within.
supermarket and that's it. Yeah.
That's it. Exactly. You know, I take away a cup of coffee if you're lucky, but other than that, you know, it's just been. Yeah, it is what it is, Jim. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
just I sort of, one of the things that I'm doing throughout the month of January. And I mean, I've been writing for a long time, and sort of just writing things and putting them away, not really doing anything with them, and then, you know, maybe returning to them after a period of time, and my eye might catch something that I've written and go, oh, you know, I'd like to do something with that, which is effectively what happened with the Rising Steam and the Light. They're things that I wrote and returned to, and then, you know, worked with Paul and other musicians to sort of carve out a song, you know. But one of the things I'm doing throughout the month of January to keep the creative juices flowing is that I'm doing a poetry sort of series where I'm doing 31 poems throughout the month of January. So that means that every day I set myself the task of writing a brand new poem and then posting it, you know, just posting it that evening then.
Yeah.
And I'm not really, you know, I have no I'm not really concerned as to how many people they may or may not reach. It's just for me, it's great to maintain the writing and the creativity. And what's lovely is it has been getting a lovely response, you know. And I think they've been getting a lovely response just because I think there's a universality about them, and people can connect
And what's
to
giving
the
you the
stories.
yeah, absolutely. And what's giving you the inspiration, George, to write the poems? Where do you pull your
So,
passion and inspiration from for that? Because it's a
well,
beautiful thing to be doing.
yeah, thank you. Well, it's interesting you say that. I already have in my head a sort of title, I suppose, for this series, and it's just Solved by Walking. So one
Right.
of the few things that I've been able to truly enjoy during all this is, you know, is going for long walks and really taking in my surroundings. Little things. It could just be, you know, I try and
And we have proof of that.
oh, there you go. And that's Craig in the background there. So that's where all my family would have grown up, and that's where I would have went to school. And that's an area that I walk around a lot, you know, and I
So you
try
get
and
inspired as you're walking around, taking in the
yeah,
scenery and the historical
exactly.
nature and
Yeah.
very Ireland proud.
Oh, absolutely. And not just that, but I take a lot of inspiration from the simple things. Like it could be um, you know, it could literally be a bird in flight, or it could be the
Mm,
ripples on the River Foyle as I walk past it. It could be the rain literally droplets of
yeah.
water. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's one thing that I've really sort of tried to focus on is even if I'm going for a walk and the rain is pouring down, not to be negative about it and try and find the sort of beauty in it, you know, do you know? And
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
so but at the same time, I suppose there are poems that I've written that may not necessarily be um, uh, uh, as positive, but more with a message. So one of the poems that I did write a poem about, and it was based on an experience. I was going to get a cup of coffee. I had my mask on. I was in this coffee shop. There were two individuals not wearing a mask, and look, each to their own, but they were gloating about it. And I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
how selfish. You know, I just thought, just there was no need to do that.
Yeah.
It seemed like an unnecessary statement. And then when I went home, I literally got the pen and paper out, and
Yeah.
my
And now
frustration.
they're in the hospital on oxygen.
Well, do you know, like, and
Yeah.
you know, I think it's just important to be, uh, you know, it's a time for thinking about,
Each
you know,
other.
each other and
Each other.
not being selfish, you know. So yeah, no, it's definitely
So you went
the
home and wrote a poem right away.
I did indeed, I did, and
What was the
I
title of it?
so the title of it was "Don't Wear a Mask," but the poem was not. The poem was the complete opposite. So basically, the poem um, adhered to me sort of pretending that these particular individuals who were wearing a mask, I used sarcasm to sort of say, oh yeah, what you're doing is right. Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. What you're doing is definitely going to help people, when
Well,
in actual fact, it's
right.
not. And then
Your
in the
old
last,
The Irish wit, which I love.
yeah, exactly. Well, trying to put a bit of wit into the poetry as well. That's for sure. You know.
Where do you put
But
where are the poems? Where can people see the poems?
Instagram. So I
On
do
on Instagram, yeah.
on Instagram. So yeah, just on my Instagram page, George Hutton Music, and there's so the poems. So what's quite nice is my girlfriend, her brother has an old 1958 typewriter. So what I do is I send him the text and he types it up and then he sends me a photograph of it. So I post a little video of me performing it, and then a little picture of the poem itself,
Mm.
typed out the typewriter. So it was just something.
I like that. I like that you do that because I've been doing something called, and they're on the YouTube channel, but they started first on my Facebook page, and I've probably done them for 4 years, maybe 5 years now, called Masters Mantras. And
Fantastic.
they're these positive observations of life, and they might just be one sentence, they might be a paragraph, they might be
Yeah.
a video, something where I'm trying to, like you're doing, which I think it's definitely an Irish way, is to put smiles on people's faces and have them sort of stop and pause and reflect about some of the important, simple things in life that really matter most. So for a number of years, I've been posting them on my Facebook pages, Masters Mantras, and people started responding and then saying, Jim, you should write a book, you should do video, all this kind of thing. And I think that's why I'm very in tune with what you're talking about, George. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that with the poems and share them on Instagram and connect with people in that way, because not a lot of people take the time to do that kind of thing, especially in the busy kind of careers that we have. Sometimes people are just in pursuit of their career, but they don't take time to acknowledge all the people around them that makes it happen, along with their own skills, talent, and tenacity. And also the folks who are supporting, following, the fans, for me, the viewers, the listeners, the fans, you as well, the folks who purchase the music, the folks who go to the concerts, the folks who say things on social media, hi, and I love your music, and I really appreciate what you do. I'm very big in acknowledging
Absolutely
people who came before me, who set the stage, some of the legends in the industry, and then also the people that might be around me in my given life and career that have supported and have helped and guided and mentored, as well as those who are new to the scene, who just discover that I'm on the planet for the first time, who are saying, oh, I love this, and that's great. And I know that you're very big in sharing that, quote, levity with everybody as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think if anything, one of the sort of beautiful things to come out of this difficult time is that it has forced people like myself to slow down and regather and recollect my thoughts, and sort of, it gives you the opportunity to realize that there are so many important things in life, and they may be small, but they are so much more important than some of the things that we have maybe been chasing. One of the big things that I have noticed is there's an awful lot of artists out there who want to get from A to Z overnight,
and that's it, right?
And that is, I find that so sad. I find that slightly terrifying, because how do you create any form of authenticity overnight? Like, how do you create, how do you want to connect with people? You want people to remember little moments, little moments that that they can connect with. That's what, it's like what you said. You get like somebody might leave a comment on a particular post. I'll go out of my way to make sure that I comment. I'll go out of my way to make sure that I acknowledge that person. And like everybody watching this, tonight, like, I'm grateful to be here, and thank you so much. Anybody who has commented or shared, one of my songs, it really, it genuinely means so much. So I think, um, that's been a really, it's been a really powerful thing for me, is that it's made me appreciate the people that I'm closest to more. It's made me appreciate the small things in life a lot more, and it's just put into perspective, uh, where I want to be, where I want to be standing as an artist when this does pass. So yeah, it's been very, yeah, it's been quite moving. It's something that, I'd love to go back to live music in the morning, but there is a part of this that I'm really sort of, I've made sure to make the most of a very difficult situation. And one of the things, I think one of the most important things, is that when this does pass and we do go back to normality, I won't forget everything that I've learnt from this experience. Because I'm not interested, Jim, in becoming an overnight success. I'm not.
Me
No, and
neither.
I never have been.
Me
I'm a
neither.
firm believer. Look, there's so many talented people out there, but the reality is, if you don't, if you're not grafting, if you're not working hard, if you're not, trying to, work on your craft, if you're not willing to take criticism, if you're not able to, you got to learn to take the falls and then pick yourself back up. And I've learned that the hard way. There's so many people that will think they will see a certain amount of success and go, God, that person must be really successful. What they don't see is that for every 100 no's, there was one yes.
That's
So
right.
that's something that, I've taken a lot of time to reflect upon, and it's just that, yeah, I don't, I think it's, success is what, whatever you want it to be. Some
Hmm.
people see success as becoming incredibly wealthy, and some people see success as just maybe, taking a small moment. Like, for example, me writing a poem today, that's a success.
Hmm.
So there's not, it may, it's so, it's taking all the small things that I'm working towards, and realizing that, I'm doing my best, and I wish nothing but the best for all my fellow artists, and I wish everybody the greatest success in whatever it is they may do.
I agree 100%. It's so true. I've always believed, I don't know if they use the expression in Ireland, but they call it the farm system, where you start out almost the farm system like in baseball, where you start out like in the minor leagues, and then you
Oh
get
yeah,
better, and then you go into the intermediary leagues, and then you go
yeah,
to the major leagues. But you don't just wake up and you're born and all of a sudden you're in the major leagues.
yeah. That's it.
Sometimes it's the best to have all these life experiences, and it's all the, and we've talked about it, actually. It's amazing you bring it up, because we've talked about it a lot on this show as a
Mm,
source of inspiration, about all of the sacrifice and the blood, sweat, and tears, and the hours put in. And like,
mm,
here it is a Sunday, and we're both on the air right now,
yeah,
when we could be stretched out on our couches sleeping if we wanted to.
exactly. That would be a very
Actually, why?
easy option.
What are we doing? That sounds good. Why am I not doing that? But it's like, um, opportunities exist, but sometimes it's the opportunities that we create, and it's all of the time put in and the years put in. And there's something richer and more fulfilling about working hard for something than when it's
Absolutely.
just handed to you. Because a lot of times when something is just handed, like when people win the lottery and they win a lot of money, a lot of times they don't know what to do with it, and they end up bankrupt. They end up
Yeah.
blowing it all because it's not something that they're used to dealing with. And oftentimes you've even seen that in these industries, where somebody becomes a one-hit wonder or
Mm,
overnight success, but
mm,
then their lives take a turn for the worse because it came too fast. They don't know how to manage it or deal with it emotionally,
yes.
and all of
Exactly.
the attention and all the people now pulling at them and wanting something from them, and
Hmm.
looking through their garbage cans, and the
Yeah.
gossip pages, all the stuff that comes with that. And they're not mentally or skill set wise really trained for that. So
Yes.
I've always said there's something that is, when I look back at even the things I've done in my career, and I bring out the broadcasting scrapbook of photos and
Mm,
letters and accolades and things I've done, I always look at it with great respect and admiration and honor for the fact that I've had the opportunities, that
Absolutely.
I've made the opportunities and worked for the opportunities.
Mm,
And it's so much more, you know, fulfilling for me to have
mm,
earned it rather than just be given it. Now, of course, if opportunities happen because of something I've said, something I've done, something I've created, the work that I do, and
mm.
somebody says, well, now we want to take you to the next level because you've worked so hard. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's
absolutely.
always respond to that. But I think the way you're talking about it and the way you're describing it, and being somebody who's never really looked at that, I want to be an overnight, that you really actually enjoy the journey, even if it's
Mm,
hard and it's a little bit slower.
yeah.
I've often thought the same way. I've often said, you know what? Because I've seen a lot of people go from here to here
Oh, yeah.
and then back here while we're still going this way, you
Yeah.
know? And I'd just rather have done it that way. What do you think that comes from? Is that
Oh,
your upbringing, your family? Were you inspired by them to think that way?
yeah. I think so. Like, I mean, my father's a carpenter, by trade, and my mother worked in shirt factories for years. So all I've ever known, like, when I had my first job when I was 15, picking up glasses in a bar. And from the age of 15 right up, I've always been working. Went to Queen's University, studied history, left, got a job then working in a museum for a while I was like writing songs and stuff, and or just writing. And I did, like, at the same time I was doing singing grades and just trying to work on my craft and going to different teachers. So, and then opportunities started to come along because I was putting myself out there, and the olive branch was being extended. And the thing about it too is that when an opportunity is extended, the door is open, but you're the one that has to walk through it. You're the one that has to put proof in the pudding. So it's been a yeah, it's definitely been something it's something that's been ingrained in me. And one of the biggest things in my life growing up was sport. I've played an awful lot of football. Like, my father would have played for Derry City, which would be our local football team, and so I've been brought up with just a hard working mentality, I suppose, and I just take nothing for granted. I think that's and I've been very lucky to have two incredible parents that have been able to help sort of indirectly teach me how to deal with being emotionally aware. And I think you touched on it there actually earlier. You talked about, especially when people, do become overnight success. If they become an overnight success and then things don't quite work out, they've not built up that emotional awareness or that emotional capacity to deal with being told, no, you're not for us, or no, sorry, this isn't going to work out. Whereas I think when you gradually, it's taken, one step back and two steps forward. You learn from these things. And I also think that those experiences then reflect, in your work. Like, these are things that I'll write about. These are things that I'll bring up again in my music. I know that for sure. I know it. I see it in my writing. I see it, and it's lovely for me even to take a few days away and look back at what I've written and be like, wow, right, that's interesting. Not wow, like, oh, I'm not saying what I've written is amazing, but it's amazing how I've taken the emotional I've used that emotional capacity to put that on paper and go, right, I've addressed something there that may have affected me, and but it will ultimately stimulate growth. Do you know what I mean? So that's
Mhm.
definitely no, it's definitely something that's very important in my life. Taking everything, hard work, and
Yeah.
and working on your craft and being grateful for the good people around you that support you. Through thick and
Absolutely.
thin.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And let's talk a little bit about how you even got started. I mentioned
Yeah,
sprinkled a little bit in
mm-hmm.
the introduction, but
Yeah,
what were those sources? Your mother with the Maria Callas music
yeah,
throughout the kitchen,
yeah.
obviously a great inspiration. What are some other great sources of inspiration for you as
Yeah,
a youth there in Derry?
yeah. So I suppose as a kid, yeah, my mother was a huge fan of Maria Callas, the incredible Greek soprano. Yeah, and my father was a huge fan of Irish traditional music, and as was my mother. And both my grandfathers were very musical. One played the trumpet, and the other played the spoons, and he sang. And he was also he was a ballroom dancer. In fact, he was not professionally, but he was known for his moves apparently.
Wow.
So there's been music is something that's definitely been in the family, but growing up, I would have been exposed to the likes of Luke Kelly, as you mentioned, the Dubliners, Paul Brady. These are artists that their melodies just they were ingrained in me, particularly Luke Kelly, because Luke Kelly is just such a powerful voice, and those were the first songs that I learned as a teenager, because in Derry there's a bar in town called Tinny's, and every Tuesday night.
Of course there is.
I know exactly.
I wouldn't expect anything else. There's probably not a lot of taco stands there.
No, there's not. But upstairs, every Tuesday night in Tinny's, there would have been a session, an Irish traditional session. And the thing about sessions is that sessions were primarily for instrumentalists. So
right.
Often the singer, if you were a singer, singers would only have ever gotten the opportunity to sing when the instrumentalists wanted a break. So that's the sort of and they're very
and they're terrific. I've been to several,
and they're almost they're sacred in some ways. So you don't you don't impose. You wait until you sit in a circle, and then whenever, be it whoever the uilleann piper, the whistle player, the fiddle player, whenever they stop, and you just get a nod, and it's like, okay, you want to give us a song? Give us a song.
It's like a jam session. It's like coming together, and it's so real and authentic, and you're just jamming away, and they're usually positive, and everybody's tapping their toe and moving and having a really good time.
Yeah, and that's it, and I suppose that's where my that was my sort of that's where I started. That's where I started to learn my craft. And then from that, I was 19, 20 when I started. I met a guy, Owen O'Callaghan, who's a singer himself. He
1920? How old are you? Back in 1920?
No.
I started in 1920.
No, I was.
You look good. What kind of skincare line do you use? Can I have some of that?
So sorry, I was
age
19 or 20. I can't remember. So, but
I saw you fed me the line. I had to grab it.
You did it. You had to do it. You had to. But and then I did my grade 5. So I started taking lessons in classical music because I wanted to develop my voice even more, and that stemmed from my mother's love for classical music. And I suppose I was exposed then to various tenors, and I still have a real love for classical music, and I do love. I mean, it's nice to be able to sing particular arias and things like that, because I can. So it's something that I love to do. But it's interesting how my career has sort of changed, and how the various things that I was exposed to as I grew up. I've sort of woven in and out of these careers. Like I toured with the 5 Irish Tenors for 4 months in 2017, and that was predominantly a sort of a combination of Irish folk music and classical repertoire. And then I think when I came out of that, I did another tour in 2019. I did a production called Songs of Ireland, which also again wove the same sort of tapestry of Irish traditional and classical music. But when I came out of that, I started to realize what I wanted to do, and what I didn't want to do. Not that I don't have respect for, I have a great admiration for classical music, but it's not the career that I want to pursue.
Right.
And there's so many people that have tried to be, oh, George, you should go and study opera and pursue it. It's like, it doesn't set me soul on fire.
But it's amazing in Ireland how big folk and country are, how they really appreciate the folk
Huge.
artists and
It's
the
huge.
country artists, you know,
Mm.
that that for some people who think Ireland just offers, When Irish Eyes Are Smiling or Danny Boy, which are
Yeah.
wonderful, there are so many more songs, and there's this love for folk music as well as country, which is amazing. And
Oh,
and,
I
and
mean,
you're in the thick of that with the folk side, right?
oh, absolutely. I mean, the folk songs that there's a lot of folk songs that I would have learned that maybe um, people wouldn't be too familiar with, um, and they're the songs that you hear at those
Yeah.
sessions. You'll pick up a tune and go, God, I never heard that before, and then you go away and learn it. Um, and actual fact, if you want, I can sing one of them now.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Sure, absolutely.
So
What is
there's a
this one?
there's a beautiful song called the Night Visiting Song, and it's a song about a man who is on the run from the authorities, and he's trying to get back to the woman that he loves, but sadly in the end he can't stay with her too long because he's afraid of putting her in jeopardy.
Mm,
So this is the Night Visiting Song.
all right. Here is the one and only George Hutton on the Jim Master Show live.
I must away now. I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I have to cross. I must be guided without a stumble into the arms I love the most. And when he came to his true love's dwelling, he knelt down gently upon a stone, and through her window he whispered lowly, is thy true lover within at home? Wake up, love, it is thine own true lover. Wake up, love, and let me in, for I am tired, love, and oh so weary, and I'm more than nearly drenched to the skin. He rose her up now from her down soft pillow. He raised her up now, and she's let him in, and they were locked in each other's arms until that long night was past and gone. And when that long night was past and over, and when the small clouds began to grow, he's taken her hand and they've kissed and parted. Then he saddled and mounted and away did go. I must away now, I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I have to cross. I must be guided without a stumble into the arms I love the most. The Night Visiting Song.
Really nice, my friend. And I just want to show you some of the comments coming in here, some of the lovety love coming your
Thank
way
you.
on the show. Voice gives me shivers. So wonderful. Karen
Thank
Campbell
you.
Green, who's in beautiful Nova Scotia. Karen, who always
Thank you.
says, she always says meow. When her way of signaling something she loves now, as of yesterday, is meow, and she's been doing lots of meowing. Oh my God, I have tears in my eyes
Thank you,
listening.
Kier.
You sing so beautiful, and she is in Nova Scotia.
Thank you.
And it's
You're
really
very kind.
amazing. And doing the show, I learned this wonderful relationship between areas like Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and Ireland.
Mm,
There's this real connection, and even the accents are very similar in that part
yeah,
of northeastern Canada
yeah.
and Ireland, which is absolutely amazing. And you can even hear some of that accent in Karen's voice.
Ah,
Beautiful from Rita Mazzella in New York
thank you,
City.
Rita. You're very kind.
Juanita in South Africa says
Thank you.
beautiful. Merlin in Ontario, Canada. Beautifully done, George. Love
Thank
it.
you. Very kind.
Karen in Nova Scotia. Jim, you've done it again. Another awesome guest and an Irishman.
Love it. Thank you.
Rita asking, are you on iTunes?
I am indeed, Rita. So, yeah, just go to
George
iTunes
Hutton.
and type in George Hutton, and you can't miss the face.
Right. And there's the spelling right there. Hutton.
Yeah, that's it.
Sherry says, so beautiful.
Thank you, Sherry.
And again, a lot of great comments coming in, which is perfect, as
I really appreciate it.
As I knew we would have on the show. Julia Crane says, class act, George.
Thank you. Thank
Rita
you so much.
says, beautiful artist, inside and out.
Lovely. Thank you.
Ann Wozniak here in the United States, have goosebumps. Love this, George.
Thank you.
Very real. I like that. Another beautiful soul. Really, really
Thank you.
nice. And
That's lovely.
the care and smile sign from Renee Oscom in Iowa. Makes you feel like you're floating. Wow, that's nice. Heaven sent, right, gang? Wow, such a master voice you have, George, from Karen.
Thank you so much. That's so
and
lovely.
Merlin says bravo from Canada. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Beautiful. You have a terrific voice. Juanita says, love that the songs tell a story. I cannot stand the new music consisting of one nonsensical line being screamed over and over. That's what I love about Juanita. Juanita has a great wit, and she gets right to the point. I cannot stand, and can you hear that with the South African sort of British accent? I cannot stand the new music consisting of one nonsensical line being screamed over and over, which is true, or just a drum beat that just goes.
Yeah, songs I think should have stories
and instruments and musicians and sound and melody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree entirely with Juanita there. I think that that's what I love about old folk song, is that it's ingrained in storytelling. It's ingrained in, and the thing is, these are songs like the Night Visiting song. It dates right back to the 1800s. Like that's a song. Like, you know, it has the lyrics and the melody are one that anybody can get. Like you could take those words and turn that into a contemporary piece, no problem. You know, it is that type of song that, and I think that's the thing about folk song in general, and even American folk song. You know, there's that the longing to either to be back with someone that you love, or the longing to return home. Like for example, beautiful song. I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, but Shenandoah or Shenandoah.
Shenandoah,
Shenandoah. I mean, that's gorgeous. I mean, that is a folk song.
Yes, it is.
It is a folk song.
Yeah.
There's songs like The Lakes of Pontchartrain.
Yeah.
Beautiful folk song. You know, so, and they all tell, they're universally, they connect us all. You know, and I think, and that's what I love about folk song, is that they are songs that have come from people's own experiences.
And their heart and soul.
Yeah, and particularly the connection with Ireland and the States. It's, I mean, for example, literally half a kilometre's walk out our front door is one of the ports where the Minnehaha left to go to Philadelphia during actually before the famine before
Right.
them and preceding it. Like, you know, and it's funny when you talked about Nova Scotia. There's definitely there was a ship that left to go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where it went, but a lot of people immigrated to Canada. So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all that there is that
Connection.
connection, you know, and that and even the sounds. Like for example, there's a wonderful Canadian folk artist. She's a singer and a harpist, a lady called Lorena McKennitt,
Oh,
and
I've met her
yeah,
numerous times. Actually, I
yeah,
emceed a concert with composer Tim Janis and
amazing, yeah.
several times at Carnegie Hall in New York as master
Oh,
of ceremonies. So
fabulous.
beautiful. And she has been one of the featured artists. So Mairead Nesbitt
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
Sir
fantastic.
James Galway,
Oh, he's
who
brilliant.
are dear friends, and they were guests. I don't know if you saw those episodes, but they were on the show too.
No, I haven't. I will watch them.
Lady
Yeah.
Jean and Sir James were on just a couple weeks ago from their home in Switzerland, and
Oh, wow.
and they played live too, and it was amazing.
Oh,
Right,
that's fantastic.
Mairead was on, Chloe Agnew, all the different ones, but Lorena McKennitt from Canada is
Yeah, there's something very
spectacular.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, very ethereal. Something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You literally took the word out of my mouth. She really she really lives it. Like she really
she
does.
encompasses it. Yeah,
Yeah. And just her like her image, how she looks, she's just like it's like she's the perfect sort of image for folklore almost. Like she really is like it's almost like she's gonna when she sings it's like she's gonna bring people back from the dead or something.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so powerful, you
You
know.
know who's
And
also wonderful, who was just on recently too, is Orla Fallon.
oh yes,
She,
she sang in Celtic Woman, didn't she?
she was with Celtic Woman, and
Yeah.
then she has a solo career. Beautiful
Mm,
harpist as well, and she was
gorgeous
on
voice.
in December, and she was absolutely amazing. There are so many breathtaking artists. I just wanted to show you some more comments coming in.
Oh,
When you had mentioned that this wonderful connection between the United States and Ireland, of
mm,
course, I'm Irish on my mother's side. They came over
amazing.
from Ireland and they
Mm.
settled in. My father's side is English, so Masters comes back from Yorkshire,
Ah, yeah.
Yorkshire, England.
Ah,
But
very
my
good.
father's mother's side came over from Ireland.
Amazing.
And I also have Swedish and French in me from my mother's side.
Oh wow.
English, Irish, Swedish, and French.
God, that's
But
interesting.
with the Irish side, really amazing too, because so many brilliant artists come out of Ireland, and so much very deep, meaningful,
Mm,
soulful music about life and life experiences come out of Ireland. And a lot of people
mm,
have said, the artists and guests that I've talked to, whether it's here or even my work, on American television,
mm.
they'll always say, well, in Ireland, you are, usually born with an instrument placed in your hand,
That's
a
true.
fiddle,
It's true.
guitar, or something. And okay, now go do something with it.
It's so
How
true.
about you? Were you handed something early on?
No, well, you see, that's the thing. I never, so I don't play an instrument, but I was always exposed to singing from no age. So, like my mother and father both sing. So when I was, all but what 4 or 5, like I can still remember them singing, and I can still remember there's melodies that I've picked up. So when I look back on, a lot of what I've been taught, it has sort of subconsciously been taught by just growing up
Yeah,
with it because it surrounded me my whole life. And I think that's something that it's actually something that I almost stepped away from for a while,
sure.
and it's now nice to be returning to that again. It's nice to be returning to the returning to my roots and returning to actually, I want to release music that actually means something, mean to me, and hopefully to everybody who listens to it. It's because it's interesting. Like as I said, I'm so grateful for the opportunities that have come my way. I'm so grateful that I got to tour. I toured with Anuna as well. Toured with Anuna for 4 years, and I love that experience. But I think the biggest thing that I've taken on this from this journey so far is that what I've wanted to be doing this whole time is actually what I'd already been doing so many years ago, but I just didn't know it, if that makes sense. And I don't mean to sound over like philosophical or celestial or
But
whatever, but
what do you
you
think
know.
happened in your life? What brought you back to it?
Oh, well, that's a brilliant question. I think there was a point in my life where I felt like I had to prove, not to me, but to other people, what I was capable of doing as a performer.
Yeah.
And I felt that I had to audition for things. I had to go, no, listen, this is George Hutton, and I'm here, and I'm going to show you what I can do. And I worked hard, and yes, the opportunities came, and I loved the experiences. But I kind of, looking back on it now, I realized that I think there's a large part of that was coming from an ego,
Sure.
a place
In
of,
the early younger years, that's
yeah,
usually what happens in the beginning. Yeah.
yeah, and
And
it's
then wisdom
interesting.
comes later.
Yeah, it's a real, and I'm still like, I'm still learning, and I'm still making mistakes. But I think, as a you know as me, as George Hutton, like, it's something that I've really had to look at myself, and I
Right.
think that's one of the most important things that everybody should do. Take 10 minutes, even take 10 minutes in a day, and write down things in a journal, and just say, right, you know,
Yeah.
you start to like, it's very easy to blame other people for your misfortune. It's very easy. It's very easy to say, I should have got that, not him.
Because you worked
You know,
harder or because, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that, that's such a dangerous. It's such a
Can make
dangerous
you
thing to.
angry and negative and
Yeah,
regretful later on
and
in life. Yeah.
yeah, and Jim, I've seen it. I've seen it. I still see it with people. There's
Yeah.
artists that I know, and I
Yeah.
feel sorry for them, because I'm at a place now where, like, for example, I mean, when I was singing in Anuna, one of the first concerts or gigs that I did with Anuna was when Hosier was still singing in the group.
Right.
So there were the three tenors that stood on stage this particular night were me, Hosier, and Michael McGlynn. Now, and I will never forget that a mere 6 weeks later, he was gone. There was no talk of, why he'd gone. And then all of a sudden, Take Me to Church was released. And I was so delighted for him. I was so happy. Fabulous artist, amazing voice, incredible musician. But what I couldn't believe, the the sort of, how many people that came out of the woodwork saying, that should have been, how did he get that? Should have been me, or it should. And you're kind of, it's not healthy. I've really come to a place now, and as you learn it, through experience, I suppose, is that you just got to be grateful for the opportunities that you had. Be grateful for the opportunities that may come your way, and just, um, you know, be sort of courteous and gracious to those that are doing great and achieving great things. But
Yeah.
because people diminish their own light. I notice
Yes, they
artists,
do.
they love to diminish their own light by saying, but sure, I'm not there. But
Mm.
it's like, yeah, okay, but you might not be there, but you're here. You're here. You've come. And it's interesting that, I think, for me, sorry, I'm kind of coming back to
No,
what
it's
you had.
great. Life is full circle oftentimes.
Yeah, it really is, and I just feel like I'm at that place now where I want to. I've gone through certain experiences, and I want to just go back. I now feel myself drifting back to where I started, but going back to where I started with probably a
Appreciation.
greater appreciation, definitely more confident now in what I know I can do, but also knowing what I can't do. So that's something that, I think sometimes there's a lot of artists that try to copy other artists, and it's like, no, I always think it's great to have an admiration and appreciation, for different artists, and maybe to take little bits from them that inspire you. But I think when the minute you try to copy someone, is dangerous, because 99% of the time that's just gonna, it's gonna end badly.
Right,
You
exactly.
to imitate other people.
You're not being authentic to who you are.
Precisely. So, so I've had this wonderful journey and this wonderful experience. In particular, working with Paul Casey, he kind of really, I suppose, in the studio and stuff, really helped me get back to the sense of becoming an original artist. And there's other fabulous musicians. There's a phenomenal pianist that I work with, Johnny McCulloch, and Johnny's Sinead O'Connor's musical director. He's Van Morrison's musical director, and he's really, he's somebody as well that has sort of really said, look, you do George Hutton, be you, be authentic, and I'm very lucky that I have people like that around me.
That's very important. Yeah,
and I'm lucky, and even too with I've had wonderful experiences, incredible experiences with Phil Coulter, and me and Phil are very good friends, and he's a fantastic mentor. And what's amazing about Phil is the antithesis of someone who grafted. Oh, that was a wonderful moment. God, do you see that photo? That's one of my. I haven't yet, but I'll be getting that framed, because I'll tell you why. The man to the right of me in the photo there, John Sheehan. John Sheehan is the last surviving member of the Dubliners.
Mm-hmm.
So, an incredible musician, an incredible fiddle player, and whistle player, fabulous musician all around in every regard. And Phil produced a number of the Dubliners albums with John. John was the fiddle player, along with Luke Kelly, who is a huge inspiration of mine. God rest him. It was November past, he would have been 80 years of age. And it's so sad that John there is the last surviving member of a group of musicians who are like, to say that they're legendary is putting it lightly. They changed the face of Irish folk music. They really helped it both become popular, but also brought the soul of Irish folk music back to the fore with songs like, there's songs, really old folk songs.
You're in between a lot of musical history there. You're sandwiched in between. That's quite a sandwich to be in.
Yeah, and that was a really special night, because we performed in St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin. And there's a piece of music that John there wrote called St. Patrick's Cathedral. And his whole life, he never got the opportunity to perform it in the actual cathedral until that night. And I said to him, I promised him, I said, he was telling me before he went on stage, and I said, John, I'm going to record that for you now, and I'm going to send it to you. And I sent it to him after the concert. And it's so lovely. He sent me a lovely message just saying, thank you so much, George, for capturing that. And he was so very, very inspirational. Like, he said he loved my voice, and he loved what I was doing. And so that photo that's a very, very special moment. Special moment, because it's when you talk about, you mentioned coming full circle. Well, I one of the in Derry, certainly the most famous song to come out of Derry is The Town I Love So Well. And there's a song Phil Coulter wrote. It's one of the most, it's a song, it's like our it's our anthem, I suppose. And John actually recorded the version that's recorded by the Dubliners. John played fiddle on, so it's a very that moment there is very, very special, very special.
Did you want to share another song with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So this next song was the words were written by a man called Patrick Kavanagh, and Patrick Kavanagh approached Luke Kelly to sing this song. And the melody was originally Dawning of the Day, but the poem, I'm sure you've probably heard of it, Raglan Road, was the words were then attached to it, and Luke Kelly made it a song that I think if you ask somebody in Ireland if they didn't know Raglan Road, there'd be something wrong. You know, it's such a famous song. So yeah, this is a song about a man who is in love with a woman that he can never be with because she is with someone else, and sadly, um, she loses her partner, and then this gentleman hopes that maybe she'll fall in love with him now, but she's too in love. She's still in love with the man that she's lost, so they become friends, and in the friendship, there's a sadness because he knows that she's never gonna love him. You know, so
Yeah.
this is Raglan Road.
All right. Once again, the incomparable George Hutton on the Jim Master Show live.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger, yet I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November we tread lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I'm not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artists who have known true gods of sun and stone. And word and tint I did not stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street, where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow, for I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel moves, the clay he lose his wings at the dawn of day. Raglan Road by Luciani and Patrick Yavna.
You knocked it out of the park, my friend. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Stunning. And I just want to show you some of the lovely comments coming on from our fabulous viewers here. Again, floating.
What a lovely
You have
comment.
this ability to do levitation, I noticed, like the magicians do. Tell everybody, you raised me up.
Oh, God, brilliant.
I thought of that just now. You know, the Irish, we have a quick wit, quick wit. It's always on fire, right?
I tell
You
you.
raise me up. Bernadette, so lovely.
Thank
And
you, Bernadette.
Willie watching in Holland, beautiful voice.
Thank you, Willie.
And Rita in Brooklyn, New York City says true love.
Thank you, Rita.
George Mutton has been saying some wonderful
Who's
comments. Yeah.
George Mutton? That's
This-
got to be somebody taking the hand.
Is that a cousin? He said he loves
Brilliant.
you. It's stunning. He loves all your music. George Mutton.
Thanks, George Mutton. That's interesting.
That's it. That's it. You're Hutton and he's Mutton. And I'm still Masters. This is one of my favorite Irish songs. Love it. Amazing job, George. That's from Karen in Nova Scotia. Sherry, that's so beautiful and so pure. Thank you, George. From
Thank you, Sherry.
One of our faithful Lovity viewers, and Merlin in Ontario. He sounds amazing without background music too.
Thank
without
you,
the
Merlin.
musicians.
Thank you so much.
This is what you call definitely a solo career, because he's solo right now.
Absolutely.
As solo as it gets. Raglan Road favorite, lovely. Thanks,
lovely.
George. Juanita in South Africa.
Thanks, Juanita. Thank you.
Anne Wozniak, love Raglan Road, and you've done it so beautifully.
Thank you, Anne.
As well. And another Anne, another lovely viewer of ours in Southern California. What a beautiful song to go with his beautiful voice.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much.
If you want positivity, just always come on the Jim Master Show live. It lifts everybody up.
I'll literally be floating out of the room after this. I'll tell you.
That's it. And that's not due to any Bailey's Irish Cream or any of that.
No.
Right? What a
maybe.
Guinness, right? What a stunning voice from Rita.
Thank you, Rita.
You're going to love this one. Karen says you should be Celtic Thunder's newest member. You would be perfect.
You know where I'm at. They know where I'm at.
Right. You know where you're at. That's it. Absolutely beautiful. And claps and hearts. And thank you, George, for sharing your gift of music.
Oh, thank you for your kindness. Thank you.
Suzette, who's watching in Portugal. Thank you so much, George. You got this. Do you sing Shenandoah?
I've actually I only know a little bit of it. I wouldn't know the full song. But
do you know The Town I Love So Well? Do you know that one?
Oh, I know it well.
Do you want to do that one since you are in Derry?
Yeah, I could. I'll do a couple of verses because it's very long. It's about 6.5 minutes. But I could certainly. I'd be honored to do a couple of verses.
That would be great. I think they'd love it since you're in your hometown there.
Well, I hope Mr. Phil Coulter's not watching, because if I got this one wrong, I'll be in trouble.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Tell us again a little bit about the history of the song and the meaning of the song.
This song is for every Derry man, woman, and child. This is probably, arguably, the most important song that has ever been written, because it Phil very beautifully talks about how difficult the troubles were for the people in the north of Ireland. And it was a great tragedy occurred in our hometown of Derry during that time. And he managed to pen a song that pays testament to to the people of Derry, but also to all those who suffered greatly during that incredibly difficult time. And there are many memories that probably will never leave the minds of people that were affected by it. But we've managed to move forward from that, and he really helped in the healing process of this city and the people of the north of Ireland with this song. So I'll do a couple of verses.
That sounds great. Once again, here's George Hutton on the Jim Master Show live.
In my memory, I will always see the town that I have loved so well, where our school played ball by the gas yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke and the smell. Going home in the rain, running up the dark lane, past the jail and down behind the fountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways, in the town I loved so well. In the early morning, the shirt factory horn called women from Cragan, the moor and the bog, while the men on the dole played a mother's role, fed the children and then walked the dog. And when times got tough, there was just about enough, but they saw it through without complaining. For deep inside was a burning pride in the town I loved so well. And that's a couple of verses from the town I loved so well.
Really, really beautiful, and it means so much, I know, to the region. And Phil has a way of writing songs that really touch the heart and soul, and you did it absolutely beautifully. You knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
And here's some more of that levity coming your way. Amazing job, George, from Julia Crane.
Thank you, Julia.
And wow, you can do the whole 6 minutes. We have time.
Oh no,
that's the levities. He just wants to make sure he wants to get it all correct. That's what it is, because it's a long song. Hi, Jim, levities, and George. That song is amazing. From Gary watching.
Thank you, Gary.
Rita in New York says his voice is so peaceful.
Thank you, Rita.
Mary Bishop, such a touching song. You sing it brilliantly, George, as well. And Mary,
very kind.
Mary was very excited for you to come on the show.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
we love Mary.
Amazing, yeah.
And I've got my Pine Island, Florida mug that she sent me with a
lovely
box of all kinds of just beautiful gifts. We have some really, really beautiful people that have assembled here on the Jim Master Show Live as levity viewers, and I'm so blown away by it all. What beautiful, wow, so beautiful. What a feeling you put in a song. From Suzette in Portugal. Sherry says, so amazing. Rita says, bravo, George, you rock.
Thanks, Rita. Thank you.
Cleveland, Ohio, reporting in. Kathy Short, beautiful. One of Phil Coulter's best.
Thank you. I agree. It's a great
Another
song.
Kathleen, a beautiful, dear friend, beautiful, she says, and she is in New York City as well. Mary, such a touching song. We agree, absolutely. Sherry says, so amazing. Bernadette, a legend, singing a legend song.
Thanks, Bernadette. That's a big statement. Thank you.
A big one, yeah, right. Yeah, have a swig on us. Yeah, you've earned it. Beautiful from Ann Wozniak, and Karen says, fabulous, absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, Karen.
Julia says, I could listen to him all day.
Thank you.
Marjorie, we welcome her on our YouTube channel, Masters TV. Love any Irish singer. And thank you for that, George, from Karen in Nova Scotia. And we welcome everybody that's watching on our YouTube channel. We would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks. Feel free and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing with all the great content we have on here as well. We have some cool photos, too, of sort of you doing your thing in my friend, in the studio when, I've been able to do that.
Yeah.
There's a cool one here. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so that was during a recording session up with Paul Casey and Johnny McCulloch, and we did we did a whole series of songs, but we actually from that we did a cover of a Lewis Capaldi song. We did a cover of "Hold Me While You Wait," and it grabbed the attention of quite a few people. So, and that's Johnny in full flight. We recorded a number of songs there. A few songs actually from my second album, Home. We did a few Irish sort of folk songs.
And you look like you're having fun working with them too.
Oh,
they're a good relationship, and
they're the best. They're just, when you work with, I think they're my friends. Like, so when you work with people that you have a good relationship with, it's easy to create some magic, and it's also easy to be honest with each other as well.
Nathan McCourt. Hi, George. Jonathan McCourt from Derry. Keep up the good work.
Jonathan.
Sing. I love your poem that you're doing as well. That's awesome, huh?
That's brilliant. Jonathan's a gentleman. Absolute gentleman.
Made a new fan with Anne in Southern California. I'm at So Peace listening to you.
Thank you so much, Anne. But so that was those pictures. That was a great. I mean, that was a great couple of days we had. It was it was just a lot of fun, and we managed to make a bit of magic, I miss it. But we're lucky enough to still be able to, as I was saying earlier, sort of patch bits and send bits to each other, and so the recording hasn't stopped. I mean, I'll be releasing a new single next month in February, called "Goodbye, My Friend," which is another original song that I worked on with Paul, and I'm really excited to release it. Really excited for you all to hear it and hopefully love it.
And with Nathan, you guys know each other?
So I know I know Jonathan. So Jonathan's a dairyman, and a very well known and very well respected dairyman. So my mother's maiden name is McCourt. But I don't know. I know I'm not sure if they're directly related, but certainly Jonathan would know my father, who's called George as well, George Hutton, and he would know my mum from growing up in. They would have, I suppose they would have grown up in Craigan together, and they would have sort of all hung out in the same places. And he's been a big, he's been a great admirer of my music, and always very supportive. Anytime you bump on the big John, he's a gentleman, and he's about 6'5".
Is he really?
He's not that. I'm not. I don't want to offend you, John. I know you're not old. You're not old. I'm not going to say you're old.
He's seasoned. He's a seasoned veteran. Yeah,
he's a veteran, but he's a veteran you wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah, you want him on your side.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a great guy. Very supportive.
Well, absolutely. We welcome him, and we welcome the family who are watching as well. And tell us about this. This looked like this was an amazing event.
Oh yes, well, believe it or not, John, who we were just talking about, was at the front row of this.
Really?
So I was invited to sing with. I was invited to do a concert with a famous classical pianist, Ruth McGinley, and the Priests. I'm not sure if you know the Priests, but they're doing extremely well, and they've multiple platinum albums. But I was invited to sing at the launch of the St. Colum's School of Music, and it was a beautiful event. Performed in St. Colum's Cathedral, which is one of the beautiful cathedrals in Derry. It was built in 1633. It's one of it is the oldest. Yeah. The oldest, is it post? It's either pre or I can't remember. Post right now. Yeah. The oldest post-Reformation church in the British Isles. Yeah. 1633.
There's a sister, a lot of, which is really interesting here in the United States. There's so many sister towns and cities that are so connected to England and Scotland and Ireland. Yeah. And there's a sister city in the United States, in New England, as it's called, to Derry, Ireland, and that's
Mm.
Derry, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Mairead Nesbitt, our dear friend, lives in New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things she's and it's good because she can get close to Boston if she needs to, and all, the bigger city. But because her husband is from that area, but she said it also, weather-wise and temperature and feeling, it gives her a similar feeling to Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And there's a lot of
I
cities and towns in this area that are especially in the Northeast or the East Coast, that either have English names to them, or Irish names, European, or Indian names for towns and cities.
That's amazing.
And Derry, New Hampshire.
Jim, would you mind if I've just it just came up my phone that I've only got 10% battery, so I'm just going to quickly go and grab a charger.
I'm going to laugh. You know why? Because that happens to every single guest.
I know. I just seen it there now, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Battery.
So I'm gonna have to. I'll grab the charger, and then
I
might have
to. Viewers. Yeah.
Cool. And then I might just have to
relocate. Yeah.
Right. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's see. Can we see the chair?
All right, he's watching it.
And let's see. Everybody likes to see the chair. So you're just seeing, folks, the top of the chair. I know, how many I should do one whole episode where we just look back at the tops of chairs. It's there, and Karen, I knew Karen would come right in there. Empty chair as well. And
we're on the move.
They're having an earthquake right now in Ireland. Now, while you're doing that, tell us where you are, because everybody that does that, they give us a tour as they're walking. Okay. Tell us what we're seeing.
So I'm in the living room in Derry, and sorry, let me just make sure that's. Yep, there we go. So yeah, it's just nothing too fancy. Just the living room at home. I suppose. I feel like I'm on MTV Cribs now or something.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
But this is just where I suppose I just chill out. But my family have very kindly vacated so that I could have a bit of peace and a bit of privacy.
We had Oscar Blue on, and Oscar Blue was on live from Dublin, and it was great to have him on. And he was in his college dormitory, and I don't know how he did this, but he asked 5 of his dorm room mates to vacate the room he was in and to stay in the kitchen. And believe it or not, through the entire conversation when he was a guest on our show, all 5 of his college dorm room mates actually stayed in the kitchen, and they were silent the whole time. I don't know how he was able to, especially in a college dormitory, to get 5 guys to not, make noise or be sound. He just really, I said, you owe each one of them a Guinness.
They definitely going to have to get them a pint or two.
Well, what they did was they went online and they were commenting online and they were supporting him. That's great, Oscar.
That's brilliant. Well, actually, he did. So Oscar.
He's cool,
Yeah, he's cool. He's very, very, very talented. He did. So the Hot Press magazine, Young and Emerging series, I did one and he did one. So that's actually how I.
You guys connected, right?
Yeah, that's why I came across his music and stuff. So he was on the day after me. Yeah. So when Connor McGinty was on, he was terrific too. But it was very funny because what he did was his family was in the next room. He was in this room that's sort of like a spare guest room, which actually looked really, really nice. The wallpaper, and there's a chandelier, and I mean, it looked fantastic. But he was saying that I think his mom or somebody, they look at that room as like the, just not the greatest room in the house, but it was a beautiful room. So it was very funny because he, without telling them,
he got up with his laptop after he was performing and all of our conversation and all the great crack and everything. He took the laptop. He says, "You know what? Because it was during Christmas time and the tree, everything was, the house was decorated." He says, let me go show you my family. And as soon as he got up with the laptop and started walking out of the guest room into the other areas of the house, you heard screaming and like, no, stop. Oh no. And then you heard people running away and hiding. No, please, Connor. No. And you didn't get to see anybody because they ran away. They were like, it was unexpected that he. So I said, "Uh-oh, you're going to have a few discussions afterwards." But it was just it was so much fun. It was really brilliant. And Keith Harkin was on, and he's actually in Portugal. He's in Portugal.
He's doing
like a road trip thing.
He's
with his wife and child.
Around, isn't he?
Yeah. What are some places where you would love to? Yeah, Karen remembers Maria. His mom started screaming, Connor, when Connor said, "I'm going to go and I'm going to introduce you to the family," because they're sitting quietly in the living room watching on their computers. And now all of a sudden he's coming in the room live with the laptop. "Let me show you that." And they're like, "Wait, That was so much funny. That's on our YouTube channel. If you didn't see that conversation with Connor and with Damian McGinty,
I know Damian well, yeah, great guy.
Neil Byrne, another fantastic. Darren Holden, all great friends.
Fantastic.
Darren is salt of the earth. He really is with the High Kings. Really, we've all stayed in touch for years through initially meeting them through public television, where I've interviewed all of them: Chloe Agnew, Mairead, Darren, Neil, Damian, Ryan, Paul Byram, all of the guys. Also, Ronan Tynan and Finbar Wright.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, Martin Fury. And even going back a little further, Frank Patterson. Remember Frank Patterson?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, legendary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Frank Patterson. He had come in the studio, and his wife Eiley, and Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, Daniel! Oh, I tell you, Daniel, about this sort of neck of the woods. There's not too many
that don't know him.
Don't love, especially parents and stuff that don't love.
Yeah.
Daniel O'Donnell. Like well, in Donegal in particular, and I live about, about 5 kilometers from Donegal, and he's basically like a demigod.
You're right.
There are people who worship Daniel O'Donnell.
They worship him. And Roy Buckley too. He was on. He was cool.
I know Roy. Roy's a good friend. Roy's brilliant. Roy's been doing. He's been working with Phil as well.
Yeah.
On various songs and stuff. And I know Roy has been releasing original material as well. And I always like how Phil describes Roy. Roy is like, he's like last of the real balladeers.
Yes.
He really is. He's got one of those powerful booming balladeer voices,
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. Like, he's such a very, very genuine,
Yeah, salt of the earth, right? Yeah. A salt of the earth type person, exactly. Yeah. I want to show a couple more photos from that event. What was happening here? This is an amazing shot. I love this one.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was after. That's when we finished when I had finished performing, Ruth is also from my hometown. She's from Derry as well, but Ruth has played with, you name it. Ruth has accompanied them, and for years I've wanted to perform with Ruth, and Ruth actually went to school with my sister. So it was quite a memorable moment for me. And normally, so the pieces that I performed that night, like I did, they Remember Me, Recuerda Me. I did She Moved Through the Fair, and we did a few classical pieces as well. And it's sort of one of those moments where it was like, I don't know when this will happen again. And I just kind of wanted to pay my respects properly to Ruth by just, because, sometimes I always find that at the end of certain performances, the accompanists don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
And you know, when you have an accompanist like Ruth McGinley, she
Oh,
deserves. So I
yeah,
wanted to just do something special. So
that's
and I
beautiful.
remember it's funny because at that particular moment, as I was reaching across just to say thank you and give her a kiss in the hand, I nearly tripped, which you don't see. But her facial expression at that moment, she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, be careful, be careful."
Seamus almost tripped into her arms in a way, I guess. Right.
It's captured brilliantly.
Yeah.
A lovely photograph and a lovely, a lovely moment. And I mean, I was delighted to do it because the work that the St. Column School of Music do, which is it's run by two great young Derry musicians,
Mm.
Louis Fields and Nicky Morton, and yeah, they're two. Actually, myself and Phil are supposed to be doing a concert there in March, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be
Yeah.
happening. But we hopefully,
No. Yeah,
yeah,
they just I know they just announced that big event that was going to be happening, the Wild Atlantic.
yeah, that's right. The not, it's either the wild, not the Wild Atlantic Way, the Wild
And I don't know
I,
how you say that word,
the fly,
flat, the
yeah,
Wild Atlantic
the Wild.
Flat.
That's what it was. Yeah, the
That
Wild
was going to
Atlantic.
be in March, and they
That's right.
just said because of COVID, not till
Yeah,
spring of 2022.
yeah.
Flat. What does that mean?
Fly is I'm not 100% sure on its literal translation, but a fly would be a huge gathering, a huge festival of
Like a
Irish music.
festival, Wild
So
Atlantic
a
Festival.
celebration of like we had a fly in Derry, um, in 2000 and was it 2013 or 2014, and the city was just every hotel was booked out.
Yeah,
Or you know, the city just becomes it's just performers
yeah.
everywhere. So
Everywhere you go.
you know you can go and watch street performers. Um, and when I say street performers, I mean street performers of the absolute highest caliber of
Yeah,
musicianship. It's incredible.
yeah.
Or and then every bar and every music venue, will have a particular performance happening that night. So you know you can go and pay to see you know, there could be like a big actor, a big name, and you can go and see them, and you can pay for those tickets, or you can literally walk around the streets for free, and you can see all these amazing musicians. So the beautiful thing about a fly is that it sort of caters for everyone, you know, and it caters for every budget type. You know, you don't have to go and pay to see the big acts. You can actually see and even just join in. You know, like there's sessions in every bar, like they'd be more than accommodating to allow people to sing a song, or if you have an instrument, they'd be more than happy for you to play a few bars. So it's a really yeah, it's a wonderful wonderful festival. It's a wonderful, gives people a real sense of community and a real sense of togetherness, because it's not it's all about sharing in the experience and celebrating the culture of Irish music.
Really terrific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julia
So
Crane says she's planning a trip to Ireland after the pandemic,
you're very welcome, Julia.
which
Come
is
on
really
over.
nice. Well, Karen Campbell Green wants you and I to go to Nova Scotia.
I'd
She's
love
invited
to.
us to Nova Scotia.
Brilliant.
And
Happy days.
she actually says that they have a festival like that in Cape Breton every fall. It's called the Celtic Colors Festival.
Ah, lovely. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, you see, this is the beautiful thing. It's wonderful because these types of all right, so that's called the Celtic Colours Festival, but I suppose in essence it's probably another type of flag that's celebrating the heritage of Celtic music and Irish traditional folk music, and just Irish just culture, I suppose, Irish culture, and the celebration of that in Canada, which is wonderful because I think it's so important because we're all connected.
Everybody's
The connection with the United States, North America, Canada, like and Ireland is just it's undeniable.
It's very deep, runs very, very deep.
Mm.
Absolutely. It really does, my friend. I want to show also some of these covers to some albums along the way and also
Mm.
some other cool things. Tell us
Mm.
about this one.
So that was my first solo album.
It's the
I
very first one.
released that in December 2018, the year after, that was the year after I finished touring with the Five Irish Tenors. And yeah, it was for me, it opened up a lot of doors. It grabbed the attention of, for example, there is a recording of The Town I Love So Well on that album, and that recording was sent unbeknownst to me by someone who knew Phil and knows Phil very well and worked with Phil for years and is now a dear friend of mine, Fergal Murray, who's an incredible musician and pianist. He sent it to Phil, and then I got an email from Phil Coulter, and I thought, I was a bit taken back. I thought, and it was just a lovely email from him saying, this is, fantastic version. Well done, kid. You should be very proud of this. And then I got a phone call from Phil saying, look, I'd like you to come down I'd like to meet you in the office, and I'd like you to sing some songs. And the rest is history, I suppose, with my relationship with Phil. He's become a formidable mentor, a wonderful friend, and someone who has, without question, helped my career so far. So that album, if it wasn't for recording that, and at the same time, if it wasn't for my brilliant friend Paul Casey, who did an unbelievable job of producing the album and the arrangements, I probably wouldn't be sort of in the position that I'm in now, and some of the doors that have been opened to me, So that album, yeah, and
means a lot to you.
We launched that album in the Guildhall in Derry, and it was a very special night. It's a beautiful venue, and we sold it out, and we had a full band, and it was just it was a very special night, very special night.
Very cool. Congratulations on that.
So
here's another.
Yeah, so that was, believe it or not, that album got launched on the 1st of April last year. So I had all these plans for gigs and album launch.
Yeah.
They were all scrapped. So that album, Jim, never got any. Unfortunately, it never got the. Although in saying that, in February we did a concert in the Ulster Hall, which was a huge success, and the album was launched as part of it. But the following, I think it was 3 weeks after that gig, we were in lockdown. And
it's happened to so many people. Yeah.
And this album, sort of, what's interesting is and the reason for the sort of bow tie and that cover was almost like it was me acknowledging the various tours and stuff that I'd done, and with the Five Irish Tenors, but it was also a way of me sort of saying goodbye to that as well, if that makes sense. And the reason why I called the album Home is because
is that your brother?
It's my brother Eddie.
Hey Edward, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Cheers, bro. So my
is he in Derry as well?
Yeah, he's actually here. He's
in the house?
He's somewhere else in the house.
Edward's in the house, literally.
So Eddie, Eddie's actually going. Eddie's doing the Camino next week. Really? Yeah, so he's getting out of here.
Now tell us what that is for viewers who aren't sure what that is, the Camino.
Oh, sorry. So the Camino is a very famous...
Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that, Eddie.
He's a gentleman. And so the Camino is like a pilgrimage. It's a very famous pilgrimage. It's the oldest. I think it's the oldest. It's one of the UNESCO. Edward was telling me earlier. There you go. He's in 7 days, so he's leaving in 7 days.
Nice.
It's the oldest pilgrimage. It's one of 3 UNESCO World Heritage Trails. So you can start, you can do different lengths. Like you can start in a different place in. He starts in Spain, and then he goes through France, and then back into Spain again, and it takes up to. So, it's St. James's Church is the final destination, and it's this yeah, it's supposed to be a very. It's not. It's not an entirely. You know, you don't have to be religious to do it. It's something that I think people. Well, Eddie's embarking on it because it's something that he wanted to do for a long time, uh, and I think there's no better time to maybe go on a sort of a hike or a long walk during
Yeah,
this
yeah.
pandemic. It's the only thing that I suppose you really can do. But it's a very so it's supposed to be from the various things that my brothers told me. Him having spoken to people that have done it before, it's very seems to be a very fulfilling experience. You know, a very a spiritual journey. And yeah, so yeah, he's excited. He's excited to do that. And Eddie's always been very supportive, very supportive of my music. So I
Is he in
appreciate that,
music
brother.
too? Is he into music as well?
Oh, Eddie can sing. Eddie can sing. There's no doubt about it. I've said this to Eddie many times. But anytime I say it, he'd be like, "Oh no, I don't know." I'm like, "Oh, he can't." You know, what's he saying there? He'll kill me for this, but it's all. I won't. I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, it's all lovely, right? It's all lovely.
Exactly, it's all lovely.
He goes,
Make that a
no.
hashtag, Jim.
He's like,
Brilliant.
that's it, right?
Brilliant.
We have there's another cover too we wanted to show, which I think is really cool, and it's this one.
Oh yes, that was so that was the first single that I released off the second album. And yeah, and it got a great, and it features Lauren Doherty, so it's like a duet between myself and Lauren. And Lauren is a singer from Derry. Sorry, she's a singer from Derry. And
I know you have to I should tell people, make sure that you're in chairs with wheels. Yeah, we have to go like, dude, it's kind of cool, right? It's like, and now here's Jim, and here's George.
But yeah, so and that song was written. That was written by Paul Casey, and it's a song I've loved for a long time. And I asked him if I could record a version of it, and he very kindly let me record it. It's a beautiful song. It's one of my favorite songs. It's on that album. Yeah, it's
Every Time It Rains.
It's basically about it's a man who lost the woman that he loves, but every time it rains, he's reminded of her because they walked in the rain a lot, and they love to walk in the rain. So and that's why we did it as a duet, because the story of the song is basically the first verse is the man singing about how much he misses the woman that he loves, and then the second verse is him falling asleep, seeing the woman that he loves, and now she's speaking to him. So it's a gorgeous it's a gorgeous song. So if anybody wants to jump onto any of the digital distributors, please, it's there. You can have a listen.
So Spotify, Amazon, can you get these?
All of them. All of them. Yeah, just George Hutton, and they're all there. And it was a shame, I never really got to push the second album. But I've been the beautiful thing about releasing an album
here, that one.
Yeah.
So can people get that online? Can they order that?
Yeah, you can get that online. Yeah, it's on all the I did have hard copies, but they're all now gone. They all sold out. So I didn't get any. The only reason why I haven't got any more yet is because
it's tough.
There's far too much uncertainty, but I'm hoping that by the end of this year, I'll have my first fully original album ready to go. And I'm going to be patient with it, because I'd rather have that ready to go
and do it right
we can perform again, because there's a lot of talk at the moment around things reopening the summer. I can't see it, and I don't mean to be. I'm not being pessimistic.
The vaccine still has to be distributed, and there's some people that don't want to take the vaccine, and they got to test it out. And
and that's the scary thing, is actually
they're very behind here with distributing it.
I was watching CNN last night, and I was watching CNN, and I think it was the governor of Kentucky was saying that they're trying They're
Hard.
really trying to get the FDA to get the first
Accelerate.
and second doses. But I see it's good what they're doing now. There, if people in like, is it like section 1A,
Yeah.
if they don't, if they're not, if somebody doesn't take it, then they're going to just go straight to whoever's on the list.
Next.
1B.
Right.
So it's good. It's good that they're. I think it's good that they're taking a bit more decisive action on that.
A proactive approach. Right.
Yeah, because it
Proactive.
has to. It has to get rolled out.
You're
I know,
right.
and I really hope people. I hope people take it. You know,
Do the right thing. Yeah.
you know, do it right, and don't worry about conspiracy theorists. Just take the vaccine. It's all for our own good, and we'll all get to go to festivals and concerts again.
And you do that, right? You go through the masks, your social distance, you do it all there.
Yeah, that's it. Just tick those boxes, and
and it helps.
And we'll get there.
Meg Hartnett is checking in. Hello, Jim and George from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hello.
Good to see you, Meg, and welcome to the show. We have we've got some more here. There's another photo that I want to show, which is actually another cover. Tell us about this.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this was, I touched on it earlier. So Hot Press Magazine would probably be one of the most popular, if not the most popular, Irish music magazine. And it's got a great,
kind of like your version of Rolling Stone type thing.
Exactly, Jim. And so just last year, as part of Van Morrison's 75th birthday, they did a series called Rave on Van Morrison, and I was one of the artists asked to perform a song of his. So we did, myself, Paul Casey, and Johnny McCulloch did a cover of Born to Sing, which is one of his more contemporary. It was on an album from 2014, I think. But we went to Belfast, we filmed it. We did it all. We did it all in about 48 hours because we didn't have a lot of time to get it done. And got a great response. And it's a song I love, and it's a very it's got a bluesy feel to it, you know. But the video for that is on, so that's on YouTube. So if you just type in George Hutton Born to Sing or George Hutton Van Morrison, it's all there.
It's all there, yeah.
So it's that was a great experience because Van Morrison's
legend. Yeah.
The legend.
Everybody, right? Exactly.
Everywhere he goes.
Thank you, KPKP CRO. We appreciate that. How about Waiting?
Oh, yeah. In 2015, Jim. That was the first original song I'd ever released, and I released it and did absolutely, because I didn't know I need to move over. I didn't have I gotta
tell guests to make sure they have wheels on their chairs so they can slide back and forth.
A little arrow, just but I suppose I didn't have the connections or the doors open to me then that I have now. And when I released that song, and to be honest with you, I am immensely proud of that song. I mean, I wrote that song myself. It was then, we did Andrew Dempsey, a wonderful musician from Dublin, did a beautiful string arrangement on it, and he played the piano on it. We got a string quartet in, and we recorded it in a studio in Ashburn in County Meath called Jellistown Studios, and it was produced by a guy called Stuart Gray. Stuart, fantastic producer as well, and he would work very closely with the likes of Brian Kennedy, Christy Moore, Damien Dempsey. And the thing, do you remember earlier I was saying to you about coming back?
Yeah.
Coming back. So this song is definitely an example of what the line I suppose I'm not going to say I wished I had continued, but certain experiences then came up and I'm grateful for them, but I'm glad now that I'm kind of coming back to this style of music. So if people want to get a taste of me just start, like literally that song is me, George Hutton, the original artist, starting out and then taking a break and doing a lot of different things in between to get back to doing original stuff again, then that's the song to go and listen to.
Yeah.
And basically, the title of the song, Waiting, so the whole thing was, again, this came from a poem. So the whole song is about taking matters into your own hands and taking responsibility for the, I don't know, that taking responsibility for your own dreams, if you want to say that, taking
Right.
responsibility for your own, whatever it is you want to get out of life. No one's going to hand it to you. So you got to go and do it and stop waiting for someone else to give you, or expecting someone to give you that leg up.
That's what you mentioned in the beginning of the show, right? Exactly. It's so true. It's so true. Where were you? Where was that picture of you shot?
So that is actually, that's not me. That is my friend. That is my friend, Neil McTiernan. And I took that photo on a beach in Donegal called Five Finger Strand. And it's probably one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. It's stunning. And just to the left of him, there's these enormous sand dunes.
Yeah.
And I just remember, he had walked ahead, and I remember I was on my phone. And then when I looked up and I seen the clouds and stuff, I was like, Neil, don't move. Just look out to sea.
It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, the way the clouds were layered, and you have the silhouette of the mountains. You have the ocean with the curvature of the beach, and then sort of a silhouette of your friend, and then the clouds are sort of dark, but they get lighter and lighter and lighter, and then you see some of the hope of the blue sky towards the top. Yeah.
Exactly, and that you have perfectly depicted what
you were aiming for.
Yeah, because I wanted that to within the song there is that sense of there is better
days ahead.
There's better times and better days ahead, but you have to determine that, so it's no, so you've definitely you hit the nail on the head, as they say there, with the depiction there. So yeah, it's a song I'm very, 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 very proud of that song. And because at one point I remember a few people had said, "Oh, he going to remove that because it was 2015." I'm like, no, because it's kind of like it's a marker,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And I'm very, very proud of that song, So.
Absolutely. Here's another.
Oh yeah, that was I released so. Early 2019, I released a recording. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting.
I gotta hit a little buzzer, and then you get a little shock, and then we slide. This is fun. It's good exercise, right?
Get the step count up, moving across. But that was
you're beside yourself.
That is, but that the Oil Triangle is one of the first songs I ever learned, and it's a song that I sing this song all the time. I sing it anywhere I go, and it was a song written by a man called Brendan Behan, a very famous Irish playwright who wrote a play in the early 1960s called The Quare Fellow. Mm-hmm. And within The Quare Fellow was the song The Oil Triangle, and the triangle is the triangle that the police officer or the policeman would have, hit to warn oncoming walkers that criminals were being marched down the canal, so move out of the way. But the song itself it's quite it's beautiful and sad, like a lot of folk songs, in that in one of the verses, it's basically the prisoner saying that, talking about his experience in prison, but then talks about how the woman he loves is locked in the female prison, and he'll never get to see her again because he is to be executed. So it's a beautiful song. I can certainly give it a go if you want. I think with all the talk on this might be my last song, but I'll certainly certainly give it a go.
That would be great to hear that. Absolutely. Yeah. Once again, here's George Hutton live on the Jim Masters Show live. Thanks for all the great comments, everybody. I know you got, sing it, George, please. So their wish is your command, right? All right, my friend, here he goes.
A hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell. On the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. To begin the morning, the screw was bawling, saying, "Get up, you bowsy, and clean up your cell." On the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Up in the female prison there lie 75 women, yep, and it is among them that I wished I dwelt. Then the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. All along the banks of the Royal Canal. The old triangle.
Very nice. And I like that little at the end.
Because that song is one that it's a very popular song at sessions. So it's one that you would sing to try and get people, lift people up. Come on, let's go, So
You're
it's
exactly right.
And when you sing it with a few pints in you, it's a whole different story.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, and I mentioned this, I forgot which guest I had on when I mentioned this, and it was funny because I was asked, which I've done before, but it hadn't been since probably I was a kid, to march, I think it was about 2 years ago, in the St. Patrick's Day Parade down Fifth Avenue in New York City.
Amazing.
That big one. And it was an honor, it was a pleasure. And I was with a lot of friends, Irish friends as well. And these particular friends that asked me to march with them are their heritage comes from Cork. So they said, "Can you march with us?" The Cork crowd. I said, sure. I'd love to. So it was just very funny because I'm marching along, and this is in New York City, where in New York people, they speak their mind and they're very open and very authentic. And so as we were marching, I didn't realize that this is actually, I guess, part of a tradition, but I heard people saying, we're marching along and the bands and the music, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and it was on St. Patrick's Day. And we're waving to everybody, waving hi to all the lines and lines of families and kids and grandmothers and everybody with all their Irish green and their flags. And it was beautiful, very festive and fun. But I kept hearing them say, up something. So I thought we're marching and we're waving. Hi, you. And I kept saying whatever they were saying, up something. I was saying, you too. Yes, you too. And I thought that some of them were saying, up yours, yours. And I'm going, you too, you too, like a grandmother and a kid, like, up yours, because it sounded from afar, from a distance, with all the sound and commotion and music and everything. It almost sounded like that. And I said, we are in New York, so it could be that. So, up yours. And one of my friends, she leaned over as we're marching, and she goes, Jim, what do you think that they're saying? And I said, well, I don't know, and I can't confirm this, but maybe you can. Are they saying, up yours, and I'm just waving back, smiling, and
Yeah.
saying, you too, you too. She goes, Jim, that's not what they're saying. They're saying up cork,
Yeah, that's what I
not
was
up
thinking.
yours. They're saying up cork. I said,
That's brilliant.
oh, now it sounded like up
Yeah.
cork. That's just, they're saying up cork. Oh,
That's brilliant.
up cork. That
uh,
was that was funny. I
that's
just
brilliant.
remember that so well from, your story reminded me of
Yeah,
that. Uh,
it must have been such a
George,
great
have you been?
experience to meet
Oh, it was
again.
fantastic. It was,
Yeah,
well, what happens afterwards, after the parade itself comes to a halt,
yeah,
every Irish pub, every Irish bar, restaurant in the city, which of course last year, no, and this year probably no again because of the COVID,
yeah.
is packed. And you are literally, and the tradition is you go from place to place to place.
Hmm.
You go and you have a little something there, and then you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one. You don't stay in like the same place
Yeah.
like you do when you have dinner at a restaurant. You stay there for
Pub
the
crawl.
evening. It's a crawl, and it's a real crawl.
Oh
And
God,
some people were crawling.
I say there were.
And literally there's like somebody here and
Yeah,
here and here and here. You literally are, and it's
can't
all
believe.
just to get that one Guinness or Smittix or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Just amazing. It's quite an experience. It reminds
yeah.
me of, like Karen says, pub crawl. It reminds me of the time I was in New York City on New Year's Eve in Times Square when the ball dropped.
Wow.
That is really something to experience, and something you probably want to do maybe once.
Yeah, I'd love
just
to.
to
I'd
just to
love
say
to.
that you did it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Meg here in Fort Lauderdale says, love your
Thank
voice,
you, man.
emotion when you sing. Bravo from Juanita.
Thank you, Anita.
Suzette, Portugal. Thank you, George. Great.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and Karen asked if you had been on Phil Coulter's cruise yet.
Yeah, I haven't, but there was we were talking about that, and that all unfortunately um, got cancelled as well. So hopefully next year, if the cruise is happening again, then
Yeah.
certainly I hope to be part of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Karen's
No.
funny. She goes, I hope you're not claustrophobic with the pub crawls. No, not at all, not at all. More comments coming in here. Just some more levity when you were singing, which I think was really awesome. Here it is, Old Triangle. Yes, yes, yes. What a treat from Merlin in Ontario.
Thank you.
Karen in Nova Scotia was singing along with Ye George.
Brilliant.
Another of my favorites.
Yeah, and that's what that is. That's a real sing-along song.
Meg in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Oh, Marjorie, this is actually Marjorie Hunter. Thank you. Love your version. Marjorie loving it. Mary Bishop, brilliant. George.
Thanks, Mary.
Anne says, awesome. You sing so well. Love your voice and expressions. Kathy Short smiles. Love your voice and emotion when you sing. Bravo from Juanita. And Suzette, thank you, George. Great. Good comments here. And
much appreciated.
Also, there's another one here I wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
The first Noel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was, so I was working on it. I was working on a Christmas album.
Yeah.
2000 that was actually 2014. And it was an interesting one. It was sorry, God. I mean, if this was a competition, I'd be gone. But that was a Christmas album that I was working on, and we released it, and then unfortunately, it had to be removed because the pianist that I was working with at the time, there was a bit of a complication about a couple of things, so we had to take it down. But what's really interesting about that album, there was a version of Ave Maria that was on that, and it gets Shazammed all the time, so you can't get that on. I don't know where. I don't know where it's being played, but over Christmas time, in the United States, I get all these things saying that it's been Shazammed. So, which is great. I'm not complaining. It's brilliant.
like
But
that. It's been
it's also making
Shazam.
me.
I like that
It's
word
also,
Shazam. I like the word Shazammed.
yeah, Shazam. That's what I say. That's a just rolls off the tongue. Shazam.
It's
So,
awesome.
So yeah, there was a lot of. So yeah, I really loved that. It was a lovely. And I got it when it first got released. It was released briefly and then had to be removed. But when it was released, I got such. It was that was the only album. That was the only album I ever released that actually in the Christmas iTunes charts. It was #1 for like 4 days.
So it's not available anymore. It's not available anymore.
Yeah.
You have the masters.
So I have the masters. So what I'm thinking of doing is returning to them with Paul and polishing them, you know, and because I do want to release a Christmas album at some point, but it's that it's no that experience that project is on the back burner for some time, so I'll come back to that. But I love Christmas music. I mean, I know we're in the new year now, but like for example, you know, before the lockdown, I was invited as a special guest to sing in St. Eugene's Cathedral, and it's a huge cathedral. So you have St. Column's and then you have St. Eugene's, and St. Eugene's is actually where I went to primary school. Mm-hmm. So I was asked to come back, and it was just the most, and people were allowed to come. So this was, but they all had to be in the same bubble. You know, they had to be all from the same family sitting in a particular area, and then another family sitting in a particular area because of the restrictions at that time. But it was beautiful. You know, it was so lovely to sing songs like "O Holy Night," "In the Bleak Midwinter," "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen," "Away in a Manger," "Silent Night." I mean, these are songs that, you know, you could actually, like, if you were to remove the Christmas connotations and just listen to the melody or instrumental versions, if you never knew they were Christmas songs, they're just beautiful songs. You know, so well written, timeless pieces of music that at Christmas, if given the opportunity to perform them, I can't wait. You know, I always look forward to it. So, and it comes and goes so quickly. You get about a 10-day window where it's acceptable.
I agree. Yeah.
And then it's all over, you know. So,
I listen to them throughout the year whenever I want. And a couple of my friends do too, because Christmas music is some of the most beautiful music in the world. They're like, they're almost like baby lullabies in a way.
Precisely.
And they are, and I mentioned this, actually, it's amazing you brought that up, because I mentioned this to people during this, you know, show, that one of the things we all need to do in life is to, especially during these rough times that we've had in this crazy, you know, 12-month period of COVID and economy and just everything that's been happening, is to surround ourselves with some of those constants in life, the things that are constant, the things that are simple, the things that are basic, the things that, you know, are always there. So every year, here comes Christmas, here it comes again, and all this beautiful music and the lights and the feeling and the love and the family and all of that. And these songs return, and there they are. They've been there ever since we've been born. We've heard them all our life, and they come back year after year. No matter what has happened all year long, here it comes back again to reassure us and comfort us and to make us realize, you know, what life is all about. And
absolutely,
if the person's religious, you know, of course, the religious aspects as well. But it's some of the most beautiful music in the world. And a lot of people I know here in the States, I would imagine there as well, they started putting up Christmas lights well before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Because they needed that feeling, and the Christmas music started early in the stores. The items started coming out early, well before like our Halloween, which was in October. And a lot of people said they didn't have a problem this year with it. They actually wanted that. I know I saw Christmas lights actually going up last year in March and April. People were putting some lights and candles in their windows because of, you know, what was going on in the world with the pandemic and everything, and a source of light and color and hope. And so, yeah, I mean, that kind of music, stands the test of time. So I think people
Yeah.
would love a Christmas album from you.
Yeah, it's something that I will definitely. 100%. I'm going to release a Christmas album. Um, probably not this year because I'm so focused on the original material, which is a
Yeah.
huge uh, it's a huge undertaking, and it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of back and forth. So I'd say hopefully in the next 2 years I'll have a Christmas album that hopefully everybody will enjoy.
Yeah. Do you have some favorite songs that you would definitely want on that
Yeah. So my favorite Christmas song is "In the Bleak Midwinter." So you are in the bleak midwinter, Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen,
Oh, Come All You Faithful.
Angels We Have Heard on High, Oh Come All You Faithful, a Destined
All the
Fidelity.
traditional ones.
Yeah, because the traditional, and then I actually released on my first album, Chapter 1, I released an original Christmas song called Christmas in Our Town. So there is an original. So there is a Christmas song of my own, myself and Paul Casey wrote it, and it did great. It got a ton of radio play, which was it's huge. Like, it's a big orchestral sound to it.
Can people find that anywhere?
Yeah, just Spotify. Just type in George Hutton, Christmas in Our Town. And I know it's not Christmas, but
no, but
there's
still.
It's a really nice, lovely, feel good, but it's a big song. It's a big song, and so I would certainly have that added to. And then myself and Phil released a version of Oh Holy Night on YouTube, which was lovely. Because we would do that. So normally, like, I did the tour, not last year, but the year previous. And when we get to sort of the Christmas week, we add that into the repertoire, and he'll play Oh Holy Night and I'll perform it. And it's always Oh Holy Night it's always received with such joy. I think people just love it, and it has a big top A at the end, which is people are always waiting for that moment. So no, it's I absolutely love it. Absolutely love singing it. Love performing it. Love Christmas music. So
we haven't touched as much on it, but your songwriting, which is another aspect of who you are and what you do. Tell us about your songwriting and the real love and passion for your songwriting, and what are some of the things that inspire you as a songwriter as much as you are a singer and performer?
Yeah, well, I suppose that I suppose we've touched on it too, where the things that inspire me most are definitely the little things, or the things that we take for granted. So it could just be, as I'm out walking, seeing a couple holding hands, seeing someone giving, somebody a hug, or it could be a gesture on someone's face. It could be a smile. It could be a moment. It could just be, the sky that morning that evokes a certain emotion. And then I suppose my own life experiences, growing up with a big family. My mother and father are have always been a huge inspiration. So they are very much like my first original single I released last year. As I said, was all about my relationship with my mother. But I'm inspired by one of the big things I'm inspired by now is authenticity. I know that sounds a bit vague, maybe, but I'm inspired by if I feel something and if it means something to me, and if there's a feeling inside me that's going, that's important, that resonates with you, George, then I have to write about it, and I have to be honest with myself, and I have to be honest with the people who will hopefully listen to the songs. I need to be honest with them and be like, this is my story, and I hope that it resonates with you, as opposed to I think it was someone had touched on it earlier. Instead of writing a song that just repeats itself over and over with a synthy sound and has no real connection with me, albeit it might have a better chance of getting played on the radio. But I think for me, the original songwriting process certainly stems. I suppose you could put it to, categories: film, life, experience, love, loss, hope. Um, and certainly one of the big things that means an awful lot to me is a celebration of diversity, a celebration of we've seen far too much. It's I'll not talk about it too much. 2020 was a dark year for all of us, and it certainly brought out the best and the worst in some people. And I think that one of the things I want to reflect in my songwriting moving forward is that there is a real want for love and compassion. There is a need for love and compassion. There is a need. We need to come together. We need to celebrate the good things that bring us together, not the things that pry us apart. And I think that's what I want to do with my songwriting. I hope that, throughout the year, I hope that as I gradually trickle out new songs and new music, I hope that it has the ability to connect people. I hope it has the ability to sort of just for people to celebrate who they are, and for people to be proud of who they are, to take great pride in where they come from, and who and what they mean to their community and to the society that they grew up in. So yeah, it's something that I've reflected on an awful lot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be putting out, I certainly don't want to be putting out stuff anymore that doesn't have a connection with me, and I'm confident enough that if I feel something, then somebody else is going to feel it.
Right, exactly. And I've said that oftentimes on this show. I'm hoping out of everything that we've experienced in the last year now, almost, we come back out of this, we rise out of these ashes more loving, compassionate, empathetic, and that we listen to each other more, and we come together more, because we've been so divisive, and it's been just really all the hatred out there, and just all of the nonsense, and everybody me, and the world doesn't really operate well that way. And I've even said that I think what happened, and I said it even last night, I think three energies came together. I think the divine, Mother Nature, and planet Earth came together back in the spring and said, stop, enough of the nonsense. We don't like the way you're going. We gave you this beautiful planet. We gave you life. We gave you all of this incredibleness, and you're fouling it up. So we're going to throw a pandemic and economic collapse and civil unrest and political nonsense and all these things at all of you globally at the same time, and see how the humans deal with it. Are you going to, rise up from it closer, and you're going to listen more, and are you going to care about one another more, or are you going to be worse? And we have seen the worst of the worst through this too, and we've seen the best of the best as well. So I hope we come out of this, more compassionate, empathetic. We instead of talking at, we talk with, and we listen more, and we care more, because the earth spins a lot more smoothly when we do that, right?
Absolutely. Just brings us all together. There's more, there's more light than shade. Like, there's definitely, I think it just, what happens is, unfortunately, when something bad does happen, it's everywhere. We can't, we see it everywhere, and it's like, my God, I need to turn off every device I have so that I can actually see any kind of positivity. And I think that's one of the things too that I love about going for long walks every morning, is it's like, it's time, gives you that headspace to just to go through little things in your head, and to be positive. And then I think it almost gives you the tools to deal with all the negativity. It gives you the tools to go, okay, this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening, but I have the capacity to have an impact on somebody. I have the capacity to feel compassion for the certain people doing certain things, and feel and hope that they will experience a change for the better.
I agree 100%. Right.
Yeah.
Lots of silver linings. That's so true, Marjorie. I
Yeah.
agree 100%. They're also, that's funny. They're pointing out that you said a word that uh, I've always enjoyed, and you said film. And
Film.
it's interesting because my father, the Irish side of the family, when I was a kid, has always said film here in the States. And in the States, they really don't say it as much.
No.
They say film.
Film.
So
Yeah. Film.
yes, so
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I would always say, Dad, film, because he's talking about film. I'm like, isn't it film? Yeah. He'd say, yeah,
Yeah.
film. Like, well,
Yeah.
what do you mean film? Isn't it just film? So
Yeah.
it's years later, I'm on television, I'm interviewing Ronan Tynan, and Ronan
Oh
Tynan is
yeah.
talking about paparazzi and picture taking and everything else. And he says, da 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 da, film. And I'm standing there live on TV. I'm looking at him. I'm saying to myself, where the heck have I heard that word
Yeah.
before?
Exactly.
And and then I realized that in certain parts of Ireland, and I think
Yeah.
somebody told me more towards northern, they'll
Yeah.
say, because they like to add syllables. So instead of film, they'll say film.
Yeah.
And a couple of the viewers are going, film.
I
Jim,
can see
Jim,
film.
he said film.
Well, it's interesting. Like, so people, that the dialect in the north is very different. So if I say, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you would say like car, like a car,
Car.
right? I say cure.
Cure. Oh, so
I say
cure.
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 Cure. C like CYAR. It's like
Yeah.
cure.
Care.
Cure. And then you would say, because these are the two examples that people always remind me of. So I'm just regurgitating them. So you would say avocado,
Avocado.
right?
Avocado.
I say avocado.
Avocado. Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, and I do it all the time. I remember years ago, I used to work at a wine bar, and I said there was a food menu and whatever, and I said avocado, and they were like, "What?
What's an
What?"
avocado?
I was like, "Avocado," and I could hear the manager peeing himself laughing
Yeah.
because he knew, and I was like, "Sorry, avocado." Oh yeah,
Avocado.
yeah.
Yeah.
So funny, like just the differences in dialects and stuff. It's so funny.
It is. It really, really is. But the film was so funny. And
Yeah.
it took me years later to be interviewing Ronan Tynan on television here in the States to hear that word again and say, wait, maybe there is something to this.
Yeah.
We can't go without mentioning this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So that was a lovely collaboration with Phil Coulter that we did it in isolation during the lockdown. We did a recording of a song, a piece of music that actually himself and Sir James Galway made very famous. Phil actually wrote this piece originally for a PBS special.
Yes.
I believe was a ship. It was about a man who had fought in the Second World War, and the boat left Chicago. Because the lyrics are, if I ever, yeah, let's go again. But the words anyway, they hark back to him looking back at the shoreline of looking back at Chicago and wondering if he'll ever, fearing that he might never return again.
Yeah.
But then, but he arrived in Derry. So it's and then the song, I suppose, what was lovely about that was it was very poignant, and it still is very poignant because the video for that song highlights all the favorite places that Phil loves to visit and the places he loves to see, and he can't see them because of the pandemic. He can't, and he misses them. And I suppose Home Away from Home, the beach there in the background, that's Lisfannon Beach in Donegal. That's where he spent many years in his childhood. He spent many years there, as did I. And he lived in Buncrannon, which is right beside Lisfannon in Donegal. And I've spent many summers there too. So what was lovely about that particular recording was it was like you have, my generation, and then you have Phil's generation,
Blending, yeah.
blending and celebrating and also missing the same things, you know. So it was a no, it was a very it was a yeah a beautiful recording, and one that I was very proud to be part of. And we, considering we had to do it in isolation, we were
Amazing, right?
really happy with it. And it's actually one that gets streamed quite a lot, so it does. People like that a lot. So no, very proud of it. Very proud of it.
One of my favorite songs of his is "The Old Man." That just
Oh,
that just gets you every single.
that's a,
When he was a guest on the show, he performed it at the piano and sang
oh,
it
beautiful.
for us live, which was unbelievable. The first time I actually heard it was John McDermott was a guest.
He does a. I was just about to say that.
His
John does a
version.
fabulous version.
Oh wow!
Gorgeous.
It'll
There's
bring the most. You know, anybody on the planet that says they don't ever cry or tear up, it will melt them down.
Oh,
yeah,
you would need to be made of stone, quite literally.
Yeah. Heartless to be affected by that in any way, shape, or form. A couple people asked, what kind of music does George like to listen to? If we were going to go to your iPod or CD player, whatever it is, what do you like to listen to?
Oh, that's a very good question. The one thing that I love is, I love a variety of music. I mean, as I said, I love Irish traditional music. I grew up with that. I grew up with classical music, but I love contemporary Irish music and sort of pop music, I suppose you could call it too. There's a few amazing Irish artists at the minute that I'm listening to a lot. There's a great folk singer-songwriter called Declan O'Rourke, fabulous singer. And there is a female Irish singer-songwriter from Limerick called Emma Langford, who just released her new album, Sowing Acorns, which is fantastic. It is fantastic. It's a beautiful album. She's got a gorgeous voice. The arrangements are amazing, lovely strings. And there are two other female artists, Elva Reddy, who's just been nominated for a Music Choice Award in Ireland, which is basically the best. She's been nominated for Best Album of the Year in Ireland, so it's the biggest it's probably the biggest Irish music sort of songwriting award that you can win from RTE, which would be our RTE, for those that don't know, would be our national TV channel, right. And our TV network, and then who else? There's another amazing singer-songwriter, Niamh Regan, who's just released a new album. She's also been nominated for Album of the Year. Beautiful, just beautiful tone, a lovely, almost Nina Simone-esque kind of vibe. Yeah. Really, really quite powerful. You know, when you hear her, as soon as she starts singing, you're kind of like, oh, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm going to listen to this. You know, you'll give it a chance. Do you know what I mean? Beautiful singer-songwriter. I'm trying to think who else. I suppose more kind of maybe well-known would be Glenn Hansard. Massive Glenn Hansard fan. Huge love his music, always have.
Do you like some of the music like U2 and any of the other?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
U2, I mean, icons of Irish music. I don't think they've released a bad album. And what's very cool about U2 is that if you look at the spectrum of albums that they've released, they've managed to cover so many different, like Discotheque. Discotheque is like synths and trance, and then you have The Unforgettable Fire, which is like early pop music, and that was I think it was The Unforgettable Fire that had Where the Streets Have No Names, which is massive. I mean, a massive song, an iconic song. And then I love bands like Coldplay. I love Bruce Springsteen. Who else? I actually think I like a lot of Shawn Mendes stuff. I think Shawn Mendes is fantastic. I think he's fantastic. I do. I think he's incredible. I enjoy. I know. He's only got the first album out, but his first album was unbelievable. Lewis Capaldi. I loved it. I really did. And And then I suppose if you want to go to the other side of the spectrum, everything from Luciano Pavarotti,
Mm,
Andrea Bocelli.
yeah.
Then my favorite tenors of the current era we're living in are Jonas Kaufmann, German tenor, unbelievable. Peter Bishela from Bulgaria, incredible. Did Carnegie Hall, like the 4 nights in Carnegie Hall
Right.
last year. Is a
Hmm.
regular in Met. And who's the other one? Oh, what's his name? The Mexican tenor Rolando Villazon. I think Rolando Villazon. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but his Christmas album, his most recent Christmas album, is the best Christmas album in that genre that I've ever heard. No, honestly,
Yeah.
it's with the Slovakian uh, uh, orchestra, and it's just he
Really
does.
spot on.
Yeah, he does a version of "Oh Holy Night," but in its original form, in Louis Chrétien, and it's the only. Well, there's many beautiful "Oh Holy Nights" out there, but it's the only one that, no matter when I listen to it, it just kind of gets you there, you
Mm,
know, because I have a lot of admiration for him because he was a tenor that scaled the heights of the greatest stages in the world, and then had um, had to get an operation on his vocal cords.
right.
He removed nodules.
That happened to Julie Andrews too.
Yeah, that's right. And it's very sad, but luckily he's managed to sort of his voice is. He's worked on it again to get it back to a stage where he's world class. I'm in no position to judge him, but it's great to see him back performing again because he's just phenomenal, So yeah, everything from and then like I still listen to Anuna, I still listen to Phil Coulter. Yeah, so I'm very much entwined. I listen to a lot of Lorena McKenna. I love her stuff. I think it's an honest, ethereal sound. She believes what she's saying, so I admire that. And I listen to a lot of choral music. I love choral music. I sang in choirs as a boy, and um, it was great. That in itself, singing in choirs was a wonderful training experience too. Because you learn that for me is where you learn to push and pull the voice, learn to pull back, learn to push, learn to enjoy the quiet moments. And
Right.
it's where you learn how to carve a sort of or weave a tapestry of sound without having to just belt. So yeah, no, definitely an eclectic mix of artists uh, and sounds. Yeah, I mean it's my iPhone, my phone. Yeah, I mean if you look through it, there's everything on there. Everything.
Karen asks if you also like Ed Sheeran.
Oh, Ed Sheeran's fantastic, incredible artist. I mean, look at the songs he's released. Castle on the Hill. Absolutely love Castle on the Hill. I know he just recently released a new song, but I haven't listened to it yet. But I hear people raving about it. I think that I know he took a break for quite a while as well. I mean, I don't think that man could. I don't think that man would ever be able to live a normal life. He's that famous, It's like I think he said something in a documentary, or he talked about how he wanted to remove himself from music because he just couldn't enjoy a proper time with his wife. I think he's married now, isn't he?
Adele did that a little bit too, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. And Adele, there's another singer. I mean, she is absolutely phenomenal. And she's come back totally transformed. I mean, she was. I'm not saying that she wasn't. I mean, she's beautiful. She always was beautiful. But she's really, she's. I mean, she looks absolutely stunning. She looks and an amazing voice, and certainly one that I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear her releasing new stuff. I always get excited about these artists coming out and releasing new stuff again because it's like, like welcome back. It's good to have you back because you're so good.
Exactly.
And they will always. I mean, those huge names will always inspire generations of musicians. So it's great that It's great to see them coming back. It's great to see them releasing new music.
And you probably understand as a performer, you need that sometimes to pull away a little bit so you can come back
Yeah,
rebooted and refreshed.
yeah. I think it's all right sometimes to drop off the face of the earth. I really do. I think it's important to just go away and avoid social media, avoid um, you know, have time for yourself in a way that's not um, you're where you're not, you don't feel it's important to constantly be like, oh, I better tell people what I'm up to. Oh, Facebook, hi guys, I'm that. You don't need that all the time. You don't. Yeah, if you're busy and you've got stuff that you're putting out there, and by all means, absolutely. But I think if you're having a time of if you're doing stuff in the background and creating things and you're having time to yourself, allow that. You should cherish that, because there will always be times when you won't. A time will come when you won't have that, because you'll be trying to push, regardless of how successful it may or may not be. If you're an artist or a creative of any type,
Hmm.
we all have that thing where we're like, I gotta get the, oh, I've really got to get this out here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Bono. It doesn't matter if it's me. It doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter. Albeit they've more money and big PR teams, but you still have that. I need to, and it's the same too, Jim. You know this better than I do. Like as you have a massive creative platform, and you'll always be. I mean, and I'm sure there's days where you don't switch off. Like, you'll finish and go, right, what's next? Right, who's coming on next? And what da da da. And then you're creating that. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's whenever you get the opportunity to kind of have that time to
Just
be
breathe.
yourself, it's gold dust.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
To
You know
breathe. And as we always say on this show, relax.
exactly.
To
Love it.
breathe and to relax.
Very appropriate. That's
Got to
timing.
do it. Got to
See,
do it.
that's
You
magic.
got to do it. Because you get
Absolutely.
it re-energizes you, and then sometimes you get more creative. Sometimes when you're pushing yourself too much, then
Yeah.
you're not 100%, and you're just phoning it in. You
Yeah.
need time to walk along the ocean. Like the ocean, I grew up
Yeah.
here in the northeastern United States, and we're here
Beautiful.
by the ocean, grew up on the ocean, and the ocean is the place I go to, like a Zen place, to be rebooted and re-energized and to get creative again. And you really do need to do that, because I think it just helps your mind, body, and spirit, right?
Absolutely. I think, you know, very fortunate. You're very fortunate to be right beside the sea as well. I think that I feel very fortunate to be right beside the River Foyle, and then there's Lisbon Beach, which is it's no more than a 10-kilometer drive. Uh, there's something about water.
Yeah.
There is water is a it's such a powerful thing, because it puts me at ease, but it also, when you look at the sea, it's like, if like that Mother Nature is a hell of a lot more powerful than me.
That's
Like,
how I look at it. I
you know what I
pay
mean?
respect to it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
give
so do
all
I.
respect to it.
I used to I lived in Wicklow for a while, and every morning, myself and Michael McGlynn, who would be the musical director for Anuna, we used to go to a little place called the Vico in Dalkey, and you go sea swimming. But I used to just go. We used to go down to the Vico, dive in, quick swim, come out, go have a pint of Guinness and a bowl of seafood chowder, and it's the best. Just your day. You're just set up. You're just
Boy, that
it's
sounds
such
good right now.
a
Guinness,
wonderful thing.
chowder, and the ocean. That sounds
Oh
good.
yeah, and a pint of Guinness.
Road trip.
Oh,
Guinness, chowder, and the ocean.
I tell you, you're very welcome. Whenever things open up and things are normal again, very welcome.
Oh yes. Oh, yeah. I was supposed to be in Ireland last year on a TV shoot, but of course that all got
Ah,
held because of everything going on. But
yeah.
we hope to get that going again. George, what are some of the things before we wrap, so you can stretch your legs and have dinner or a snack? Because I know it's later there than it is here. But
That's it.
what are some of the things that still continue to inspire you? Some of the blessings and the joys in life. You just talked about even something as basic and powerful as the ocean, which I agree 100%
Yeah.
on. But what are some of those other things that inspire you to continue performing and writing songs and the incredible poems that you write and spit out for all of us as well.
I think, you know, if I was to pick one thing, I'd say probably love. Like I have such a I'm so fortunate that I have such a strong connection with the people that I have around me, and I love them, and they support me, and they love what I do, and the people that genuinely, you know, the people that genuinely like listen to my music, the love that they have for it, it inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. It inspires me to you know, to tell a human story in the hope that it connects with people, in the hope that it creates us that there is a universal feeling. Because if anything, this pandemic, you know, it's definitely that. It loves the one thing that comes to the forefront of my mind with my family, my beautiful girlfriend, my friends. Yeah, I love them, you know, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have the support that they give me constantly, every minute and every hour of each day that passes. So yeah, love inspires me.
That's it. Love and levity, right? It always comes
Yeah,
back
well, there
to
you
that.
go, love it.
It
I
always
love it.
comes back. Yeah. You know, my friend, this was really amazing. Lots of Irish crack, amazing stories, inspiration, great music as well. And I'm so glad you got a chance to pop on the show and
Thank you.
for this
Such a pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure, my friend. And you're welcome back, of course, anytime. We don't have to go, you know, as long as this if we don't want. But
Yeah.
but
I didn't even. The beautiful thing about this is that just flew in. Like I can't believe I wasn't even looking. It's nearly 3 hours. That's mad.
it's almost 3 hours. I know. And
That's great.
most people say that when they come on this show, they get so relaxed and so comfortable, and it's not scripted. It's not even.
Yeah.
I don't call this an interview. I call it a conversation.
Yeah, but you know, it's a testament to you too, Jim, and that's the truth. I'm not just saying it. It's a testament. It takes. I mean, I'm, you know, I've done a fair share of interviews and different things with people, but in with the deepest sincerity, this has been wonderful. It's been very natural. I'm not. It doesn't feel like. I feel like I'm able to say what I want honestly without worrying about you know, there's certain radio interviews and different TV interviews and stuff where you kind of you basically go in with a blueprint as to what you can and can't say, and maybe, you know. So no, so it's a testament to you. You've made me feel very comfortable, and I'm sure all your guests feel the exact same way. You know, so thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. I love the work that I do, like you do, and I love
Yeah,
connecting with people. We're born communicators, aren't we, George? You and I.
yeah, that's it.
We like connection, communication, lifting people up,
Yeah,
inspiring them.
couldn't live without it. Couldn't live without
Yeah, couldn't live without it, right?
it.
You wouldn't know what else to do where it fulfills you in
Yeah.
the same way. Diane watching. Good to see you, Diane, on our YouTube channel, Jim
Hi,
Masters TV.
Jim.
Thank you, Jim and George. The conversation was great, and your music, George, inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Juanita, still with us in South Africa. Thank you, George, for spending time with us, sharing your life and beautiful music. Keep well and keep safe. I think that's beautiful. Aaron in Nova Scotia. Lovety, lovety, lovety.
Hashtag lovely.
Gary, great meeting you, George.
And
Gary,
you too, Gary.
nice
Thank
to
you.
have you with us. And Bernadette, George, thank you again. What a treat.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Bernadette.
Thank you.
Renee in Iowa, USA. Thank you, George, for sharing your music and your life with us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Really
Thank
beautiful. And Merlin already listened to some of the songs on YouTube, which is awesome. She's in Ontario, Nova Scotia again. Thank you so much, George, for being here. It's been a grand, wonderful time with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Very nice of you to say. Merlin, glad you enjoyed our Lovety Hall.
Oh, fabulous venue, fabulous.
Kathy, and spread the word to other artists
Thank
and other
you.
folks that maybe
Absolutely.
tell them, hey, if they want to come on the show, you've experienced it.
Yeah,
Love to have
oh, as
fun.
far as it goes, absolutely.
Yes, share the levity with some of the
Hello.
others. Kathy Short says, George, this was a great chat. Keep the good music coming. She's in Cleveland,
Thank you.
Ohio, USA. Yes, you are both born communicators. The Irish are good storytellers, aren't they? We sure
Yeah.
are. Jim and George, going back to what George had said before about pushing and pushing, but I have been pushing with going to the gym a lot, and now I have to relax and watch gym shows and online shows. Beautiful. Always
Perfect.
take time for yourself. Uh,
Absolutely.
this was a huge treat as well. And George, it
Thank you.
really was.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you,
I,
Jim,
I
so much.
appreciate, and you love the word levity, Karen says. Absolutely. I'm glad
Yeah,
I created that accidentally.
it's fantastic. It's brilliant.
Marjorie says, speaking of silver linings, I discovered you during this pandemic, Jim. Thank you, George. I'll certainly be checking out your music.
Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you.
My friend, this really was an awesome conversation. I'm so glad that you are here on the show. Mona says she's in Louisiana, New Orleans. Love your music and accent. Thanks, Jim and George, for being here today. Love it. Thank you, Mona. And Mona, I'll be opening up that package that you shipped to me with those goodies in it tomorrow. I can't wait. This was amazing, my friend. And let's stay connected.
Absolutely.
And you are welcome back on the show at any time. Again, we don't have to go 3 hours next time, but you are
great.
more than welcome to come back. And I hope, and Sherry says, please come back. See, they already want you back.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to have you.
I'll tell you, whenever I can, whenever I release more new music, and whenever I can get a few musicians together, we'll give you a real treat then.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so cute how he laughs every time you say levity.
It's great.
And you are now a levity. See, I told you, you're a levity. What's cool about that is there's all of these kinds of awards. You can get Oscars, Emmys, Tonys, Peabodys, but when you get a levity from the Jim Masters Show Live, that's the best. My friend, this was awesome. I wish you well. You stay safe. Thanks to your family for being so patient. They've been very, very beautiful in that time. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and that you enjoyed your time with me. Oh, I thank you. And I hope that, you come back soon and that you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, George.
I enjoyed every minute of it. And I definitely will be back if you'll have me.
Oh, we will have you, my friend. This was really awesome. You take care. You be well. Go stretch those legs now.
Gotta go get a cup of tea.
Go get a cup of tea. Second round. Go grab a sandwich too.
Brilliant.
And I think
thank you so much. And thanks to everybody as well. Really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. And I think the best way to have you exiting and we won't say goodbye, we'll say see you later, is with the photo that looks just like this. There we go.
Brilliant.
There we go. That's perfect. Isn't it perfect?
It's perfect.
There's George. Until the next time.
All right, Tim. See you soon.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good night. You take care and be well, okay?
You too. God bless you.
God bless you as well. Bye-bye now. George Hutton, there he goes. Is that a perfect one? He's going to go stretch those legs now. We always have epic conversations on the show. And as I said, I always ask the guests before, how much time do you have? How long can you go? Because we'll just have a good conversation. We'll let it roll, wherever we go. And he said, just keep going. He's watched our shows before. He's a fan of this series, the Jim Master Show Live, which I appreciate. A lot of the guests watch the show before, so they get an idea of how we do the show and what we're going to talk about. And it's not scripted, and there's no questions that are pre-scripted. And he was right. A lot of times when you do have conversations with people, everything is pre-scripted and it's sometimes pre-rehearsed and it's super edited. We're live. I love live. I've done a lot of live radio and a lot of live television over the years, and I love the energy and the excitement of live. We could easily pre-record these shows and edit them perfectly, but there's something about a live conversation and live communication in a live show that just really is tough to match. So that's why we do the shows. I choose to do the shows live, is for that energy. Plus, when they're live, if we ever have to pre-record something, because if I have a project I'm working on or something, we'll always have something to air, and maybe we'll have to, maybe because there's a guest that has to do it at a certain time, that's at an odd time, we'll pre-record. But generally, every show we do is live, and I just love the energy of that. There's something about live. And also it allows us to bring you in. You're able to comment, you're able to share, you're able to participate, because even though you might not be here in the room with me and there in the room with George or any of the guests or any of it, you feel like you are, don't you? You feel like you're with us in spirit and through your conversations. And that's what I think makes what we do here on the Jim Masters Show live, and I emphasize the word live, so special. All of you are here, you're participating, you're sharing, you're getting a chance to express to me your thoughts and, a little bit about who you are and your lives all around the world, our Lovity viewers. And our guests get a chance to see your outpouring of Lovity as well. I think that's cool. George is great. Again, GeorgeHutton.com. You can find him online. You can find him, of course, on Spotify. His music is available on iTunes, and also all the locations where you'd expect to find music. Just type in George Hutton and he is there. And he'll keep us posted on all these cool things that he's doing. He's a great friend. And if you missed any of the other people that we've talked about, Phil Coulter, he was our guest on our show. You can see that episode right here on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway were a guest just a few weeks ago. They were guests of our show live from their beautiful home in Switzerland. That show is available in the archives on our YouTube channel. Any of those who are interested in the lads from Celtic Thunder, Ryan Kelly, Damien McGinty, Emmett O'Hanlon as well. We had a wonderful conversation with Emmett O'Hanlon live from New York. That's on our YouTube channel. Paul Byram, Connor McGinty, Chloe Agnew, Mairead Nesbitt, Roy Buckley, Mick from Corner Boy, all there for you, and some really cool conversations. George Hutton, amazing. And I do want to let you know as well that coming up next Sunday, another brilliant artist is with us. Nathan Carter is going to be here on our show 1 week from today. Ireland's leading country music singer, Nathan Carter, is going to be with us on Sunday, January 17th, live at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. That's Greenwich Mean Time. Right here on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Again, Nathan Carter, he and I met each other about a year ago when he was in the television studio at Public Television. He was with Chloe Agnew, actually, and it was for his new special, and it was terrific. So we're going to be welcoming Nathan to the Jim Masters Show live 1 week from the airing of this show today. So that is Sunday. Mark your calendars. Sunday, January 17th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. for folks watching in the GMT time zone in Ireland, Scotland, England, France, Spain, the Netherlands, other areas. Nathan will be here live, and that's going to be an amazing show as well, and we look forward to that. But before Nathan comes on Saturday, live from Greece, the wonderful George Paris is going to be with us, wonderful Greek-French singer. He is amazing. He had a public television special or two as well, and he and I know each other a long time, actually. And Mario Frangoulis was with us yesterday, and we had a wonderful conversation with Mario being on the show. And you can check that out in our archives as well. But George is going to be here on Saturday. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it'll be 8 p.m. in Greece. So check that out live. And if you want to comment during the show and participate, that's on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can participate, and make sure when our show is on, you log in. So that way there you can comment. You have to log in so you can comment. So George will be here. Also, we have all week long some absolutely impeccable guests coming up all week long on our show as well, which we're very excited about. Tomorrow night, wonderful and renowned columnist, author, and speaker. This is Heather Dugan. She is well known. She's going to be here Monday night, this Monday night, tomorrow night with us. It's going to be an incredible conversation and so much more. Heather Dugan is with us Monday night. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, live. And also that one is also going to be on our Facebook page as well at Jim Masters TV. That's tomorrow, Monday night. No, January 11th, she will be here. She's a renowned author, speaker, and columnist, and she's going to be with us tomorrow. That's going to be a great show tomorrow. And then we're going to have you in stitches laughing, because on Tuesday, we've got comedian and actor Josh Hyman. He's going to be here on Tuesday. That's right, with lots of laughter. And we all need laughter now more than ever, right? So Josh Hyman, comedian and actor Josh Hyman, is going to be here on Tuesday. That is January 12th, 2021, live on the Jim Masters Show, live on YouTube at Jim Masters TV, and also on Facebook at Jim Masters TV as well. So that is going to be fantastic. That is fantastic. Looking forward to having him on the show. Hey, gang, don't forget to smile. We always say, make sure you smile and share a smile with everybody that you meet. We need smiles now more than ever. And don't forget to share the lovity, as we always say. That seems to be a word that happened by happenstance, by accident. And it's pretty cool. Find your Zen place too, as George was talking about. He loves the ocean. He's moved by the power of the ocean. So is yours truly. I grew up near the ocean and love the ocean as well. It's one of my Zen places. So find your Zen place. My ultimate is, of course, as George mentioned, being with family and friends, loving family and friends. For me, it's the same thing. And I think anything that we learned over the course of the last year or so with the pandemic and everything else is our loved ones and our friends, and time spent with them is one of the great blessings of life. So make sure that you try to do that. Even if you can't see them in person right now, call, check in, see how, and surround yourself with the constants in life, the ocean, nature, your hobby. Do some of those things you've always wanted to do with your life. We've all been thinking about that in the last year or so, haven't we? Cherishing life and cherishing those things that matter most. And this year has given us great pause to think about the things about our lives that we want to still do, the things we want to accomplish, the people we want to connect with and inspire to express our authenticity and who we really are. So, the sun sets, the sun rises, the ocean tide still comes in and out. Birds still fly. The nature is all around us, whatever it may be. If you've always wanted to write a book, write the book, create something, think about it, and go do it. Do it now and share it with the world. That's what we do with the Jim Masters Show live all the time. Try to share all of this with the world. And I also try to do it with my work, in television and on stage, in my professional world, blessed by all the things I've had an opportunity to do and continue to do in television and radio and multimedia and stage. It's a blessing to have an opportunity to do the things I do and with the people I do. And this show, the Jim Masters Show Live, truly is, for me, an extension of all of that. So I really appreciate all of you and all of the wonderful comments and everything that you guys say and that you share all the time with us here on the show. It is a true blessing, and you guys really matter and you mean a lot. And as we always say, as I showed George, I love this, to relax, to breathe, to take care of one another, to take time for yourself, as George says he likes to do. I like to do that as well. Breathe, love one another, and to relax. life is not guaranteed, and life is not always something that you can script perfectly, because there really is no perfect. So enjoy every breath, enjoy every moment, and share that levity with the world at large. And you'll find that when you get a chance to do that, it's a beautiful thing, because again, other people, you inspire other people to want to do that very same thing. If you want to write a poem like George is doing. Express the things that matter to you most. That's what we're doing here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Just about every single day, and we love doing it. So thanks to George Hutton, our very special guest, for joining us here on this live broadcast. Another epic show. Now, for those that are going to be looking for us at 7 p.m., it's almost 7 now. We did the earlier show, and because it's later in Ireland for George. Again, we thank George, our friend, buddy, for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We hope you enjoyed the show, and check us out. We're here all the time on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. You can also find me on Facebook at Jim Masters TV, Instagram and Twitter, Twitch and Periscope at Jim Masters TV. I invite you to follow me on Instagram, always posting away on Instagram and Twitter as well. I know a lot of you follow me on Twitter at Jim Masters TV. George is at all those great places as well. And Facebook, you can like the page, Jim Masters TV. We'd love that. And of course, as we say, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can participate. And those Masters mantras too. You see quite a few of those Masters mantras, those inspiring videos that I like to create and post, which I started doing on Facebook years ago. And then, and I still do it on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I posted one today on Facebook, a Masters mantra. And I also do them in video form on our YouTube channel as well. Some great comments coming in here. Soraya says, thanks, Jim. Good night. Have dinner and dessert. Yes, we will. We're having pork chops tonight and mashed potatoes and vegetables. Jim Masters, you're a true blessing to all of us lovities, my friend. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You have a good night. Love your Masters mantras. Thank you very much. I appreciate that as well, my friend. I'm following. Thank you very much. And to that I say, meow. That's Karen's. Karen, see what you started? I said lovity and you say meow. I love this. This is really, really cool. And I love it. I love it. I love it. This is a huge treat. Thank you very much. And cool stuff. And George had a cool time. And yes, please come back. Absolutely. He laughed every time I said lovity. He really enjoyed that word. And this is nice. And I love Irish music and singers a lot. Irish singer, awesome. Thank you very much. And we have a breath. Last night or yesterday, we had Mario Frangoulis live from Athens, Greece, which was amazing too. Spread the word, gang. Tell everybody about the Jim Masters Show Live. We would love if you did that. Some of our new lovities and viewers who've been watching, spread the word. Tell everybody, because that really helps the show. Some of you ask when you send me private messages on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, or you just send email messages. We want to help the show grow. What can we do? Tell everybody about the show. Spread the word. Share the links. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. All of those things really help the show big time, so we can grow. That allows us to create more content, to be able to come on the air live for this extended time that we do on a daily basis. Tell everybody about the show. And if you guys know of guests that you would like to see on the show, I know a lot of you are really good with doing that. Spread the word. Spread the word. We have a lot of guests. We're booked for all of January. We're booking February now, but and a lot of people are hopping on the show. They're either friends of mine from television, music, film, Broadway, Hollywood, or other areas, or people I've known for years, friends that have been hopping on the show. But there's a lot of people telling each other about the show. Guests come on the show and they love the atmosphere and they tell their friends and they come on the show. PR agencies, agents, managers have been contacting us. Hey, we have somebody that would be great to be a guest on the show. We love it. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to send it to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That's jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That's the email address for the show. And then any of you who still want to make a video, quick little video, you can do it on your phone. You can do it on your tablet, your laptop, telling us why you love the Jim Masters Show live, what it means to you and your experiences with it. As you know, we've been getting a lot of those from our guests and a lot from our viewers, and we've been sprinkling them in with each show. And we're going to be doing another. This past Monday, we had a great celebration with that. On Monday, if you didn't see that episode, check it out. It was really good. We're going to be doing another episode because we've received more from guests and more from our lovely viewers. So you can make a quick video and you can send it to us telling us why you love our show. We would love to know that and love to, get some good positive vibes from you. jimmasterstv@gmail.com is where you can send all of that. So yes, we are bringing back the lost art of conversation and so much more here on the show. And again, if you've missed anything in this episode that you want to see again, or if you missed any of the episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, you can see them all right there for you. All of them are archived. I think it's over 230 episodes now, right there at YouTube at Jim Masters TV. You can check them all out. More lovely comments coming on. How is it possible that your shows get better and better every day? Wow, you were totally born for this, Jim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Nathan, thank you as well. It's so awesome to have you here with us. I hope you'll watch regularly. Tell your friends about our show as well. Thanks for our company, Jim and George. I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Nathan McCourt. We really appreciate that. Bernadette, you stay safe and stay well. And have a good evening. God bless and stay safe. You too. Everybody says take care. Hurry back. We want you back. Oh, he'll be back as well. And it was so great. If you didn't see the show with Mario yesterday, it was awesome. And Terry Wollman, who is the Billboard charting composer, musician, and arranger. And he was just terrific, and producer. I'll have to send another video saying meow, I guess. That would be cool. And Bernadette, I don't know if you're resending your video, but definitely resend that because we would love to see that video. Yes, I would love to have them on. Yes. And Alex Dupuy. Renee, we're trying to get connected with Alex again. We want him to try to create a video for us. So shout out to Alex so he can create a special video because we will definitely air it on the show. That was an awesome episode with Alex. Loved having him on. We'll have him back to Alex and Zachary as well and the whole gang. So reach out to Alex and tell him, make a video for the show. We will air that. You made a video too. And you found the video because you found our show because of Paul Green. Absolutely. We're trying to work on Emmett, the other Emmett. We hope to get him on. And Mario, because of Mario yesterday, that great epic conversation with my buddy Mario Frangulis. Gary, thanks for joining us on YouTube. You're now one of our lovedies, and it's great to have you here. We're so glad you returned. And good stuff, good stuff. And George says, thanks again for having me, Jim, and to everyone for their lovely, lovely feedback. Take care and stay safe. George, thanks. Now he's a viewer. He's watching. He was a guest and now he's a viewer. That is double lovely, isn't it? And everybody says, George, thanks again. And it was mentioned to, yeah. Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Yes, we'd love to have him on. Gary, who's been watching our archives. Perfect. I'm glad you've been watching all the archives and all the shows. And again, George, thanks, my friend, for coming on and spending the time with us. And I hope you're making that tea now. We discussed EC with Jim and with EC. Perfect. Love it. Be great to have him on. Do you like sauerkraut or applesauce with your pork chops? Well, if you ever watched the Brady Bunch, when Peter Brady said pork chops and applesauce. Applesauce is good too. I like sauerkraut. I think we have some sauerkraut in the house. We're going to have sauerkraut with it. I want to let you know that we've got some other amazing guests. I'll have to run down a list of the guests. We have to upload the guest list on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Anson Williams, who starred in that very popular 70s series, Happy Days. Yeah, the legendary television sitcom Happy Days is going to be joining us as well. And one of the stars of the Waltons TV series is going to be joining us. Also, I'm excited to let you know Rebecca Harkin. Yes, brilliant singer and songwriter and performer, Rebecca Harkin, who happens to be the sister of Keith Harkin from Celtic Thunder. She's joining us in just a couple weeks on the show. The brilliant singer Nikenje is going to be on our show as well. We're so excited about that and so much more. We're working really hard here behind the scenes at the Jim Masters Show Live to deliver all kinds of entertainment. And we've got a wonderful breadth and variety of guests that are going to be joining me here on our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series just for you. And I hope you're enjoying it. So spread the word, tell everybody, and keep, sharing the YouTube channel and everything else. We would love it. And so many people still watching. And it's amazing. Not everybody that watches comments. There's a lot of people who watch later. They binge watch on our YouTube channel, or they just watch live, but they just don't comment. So we say hello to everybody watching who isn't commenting. It's nice to have you here as well. Good night to you as well. Yes, pork chops and applesauce from the Brady Bunch. Good memory. Marjorie says, so glad I popped in tonight, Jim and George. We are glad you popped in, Marjorie. It's good to have you here, and we hope you pop in more often. It would be lovely to have you with us. Good night, Jim and George and everyone. Thanks again. Hugs and love to everyone from Mona. Can't wait to get that package from the post office, Mona, from New Orleans, Louisiana, USA. Very kind of you to send a package, and still loving my package from Renee. Renee, thank you. We love those treats, those little squares with the chocolate. And they almost have like a peanut butter flavor too. Love that, really. And the Chex Mix thing, that was very beautiful, Renee. We've been eating those. There's not many left. Renee in Iowa, and Mary Bishop and her package, and everybody who's sent things we just love it. Renee, while you're there, those little squares that have the chocolate coating, what are those called? Those are amazing. We've been loving those. And then that other mix, the pretzels and the Chex Mix that you made, that you sent. What are those called, Renee? Those little chocolate square, they almost have a peanut butter flavor that you sent. Love it, love it, love it. Muddy Buddies. Yeah, the Puppy Chow was one, and the Muddy Buddies. So what's in the Muddy Buddies? The chocolate, is there any peanut butter at all? Because it almost has like a peanut butter Reese's flavor. I'm telling you, we're only down to like 4 of those squares left. They are delicious. They're a very talented baker and chef, Renee. Because I know you love when we do the foodie shows, and we're going to be doing some more of those foodie shows soon. I want to get a couple of chefs on the show too. So we have some friends that are chefs. We could do a whole food show here. The Muddy Buddies and the Puppy Chow are great. I'll have to make some goodies for you soon. Kathleen, yes, and the chocolates, the homemade chocolates that you made, the chocolate lollipops, and those like peanut butter chocolate bomb things, they're all gone. There's none left. We had one lollipop left, chocolate lollipop. They are gone. Didn't last long. That's what it is. Peanut butter, chocolate, and powdered sugar. Those are amazing. Never had anything like it. And to have it in those little squares, we were just popping them and popping them. Really, really good. Really, really delicious. I would love to have Donnie and Marie Osmond on for an interview. I've always been fans of them. They are amazing. Cast of the Brady Bunch. There are a few of them that we are considering. So that would be great. And of course, spread the word about our show. That also attracts people to come on the show as well. The power of the viewer is very powerful. As you know, viewers and lovely viewers are very powerful. So spread the word. There's people. Matter of fact, George coming on the show was referred to us by one of our lovely viewers. So you guys have a lot of power. Yummy. I agree, Juanita. And Karen says, my son used to be a baker. Food talk, And you guys are great. And Karen says, it's great to Karen, shoot an email to me at our show's email address, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Let's see if we can pop that up again. It's the same address if you have suggestions for guests. Shoot an email there, and then we can give you the mailing address where you can send whatever you'd like to send. There it is, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And are you going to send a cat, something that meows? I like the way that Marjorie said, thank you, Karen, because Karen said to Marjorie, please come back, as far as tuning into the show and watching. Mike and Jen. Hey, Mike and Jen are here. Thanks for a great show. Thank you, Mike and Jen. Where are you guys from? What city, what town, what location, Mike and Jen? Love to know where the viewers that watch come from, because we have an international audience here, all from around the United States and Canada and South America and Asia, Australia, Europe. It's pretty cool. Love to know where you guys are watching from, Mike and Jen. Ha ha ha. Karen, yes, I know. You're going to send a cat our way? Looking forward to next week as well. Yes, we are too. What town are you guys in, or what city are you guys in, Mike and Jen? Treats. Soraya says treats. And okie dokie, I'll do that, Jen. Karen, thank you very much. You guys are great. And of course, your favorites are here watching. There's George Burns. He's nice and comfortable there. And there's Gilligan, Bob Denver from Gilligan's Island, who was a gift, of course, from our wonderful guest, Dreama Denver, Bob Denver's wife, who was a guest. If you didn't see that episode where Dreama Denver was on the show, it's amazing. And yeah, Silver was here watching along, our Silver Lab that we got when we were on a TV shoot in Europe about a year or so ago. Silver was here, and all the rest. You want me to bring in Jimmy? I'll bring in Jimmy. Jimmy's here. And I know you guys like that big panda, Lin. We're going to have a show where we have all the cast characters back. But there's Jimmy. There you go. If this doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. This was a childhood toy with his blue suede shoes. It's actually all porcelain. But Jimmy's here. You got to smile with this, right? Yeah, right. Do you love the show? Do you love the Jim Master Show Live? Fantastic. Well, we love you too, Jimmy. Do you love our lovely viewers? So he loves the lovely viewers too. There you go. Perfect. And I know you guys, you can go over here. If I put you there, you won't be with Silver. So you can hang out with Silver. So George Burns is there and Gilligan's there, and you had Silver and Jimmy, and I got to starting the show again like the way I used to start it. Remember when I started the show with this? In the beginning, if you look at some of the earlier episodes, I used to start the show with this. And I used to say, lights, camera, action. The Jim Masters Show Live is about to begin. Kind of fun, right? You got to have fun. We get into some serious topics too on the show, but you got to have fun. So I used to start the show with this megaphone, bullhorn, like you see on sets and TV and film sets, lights, camera, and action. Don't you just love this thing? I got to bring this back. I got to start some of the shows back with this. We started our series with this. So got to bring it back. And Lin, the big panda, is right over there. I'm going to bring Lin back as well. And so you're in Newton, just east of Des Moines, beautiful area. Haven't been to Iowa yet. I have not been to Iowa yet. I've got to get to Iowa. Yummy food treats. I always have so much fun when I'm here with all of you. It is like a big family, isn't it? Cool, been there on I-80. You love Jimmy. Haven't seen Jimmy in a while. It's nice to see Jimmy, right? And Lin, yeah, Jimmy. Jim, you always make me laugh and smile every day. I'm so blessed to have found your show. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Gary, you're from Quad Cities, Iowa. Fantastic, Gary. Good to see you. We raise a glass to our viewers in Iowa, Renee and Gary in Iowa. And again, this beautiful mug, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? From Pine Island, Florida, from our dear friend and lovely viewer, Mary Bishop. We appreciate her. Now That's nice. That goes down nice and smooth. And just a couple more comments. No, the chocolate desserts that you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, you guys are in Connecticut, in North Branford, Connecticut. Good to see you, Mike and Jen, watching in North Branford, Connecticut. If you're not familiar, folks, where that is, that's along the Connecticut coast. It is one town north of the actual water itself, which would be the Long Island Sound. And so Mike and Jen are here from North Branford, Connecticut. That mug is cool, isn't it? This one here from Pine Island, Florida. That's where Mary Bishop is. Mary Bishop was amazing. She sent a whole package, a Christmas package filled with individually wrapped gifts. We're going to have to bring them on. I want to do a show maybe when we don't have a guest, which is rare, to show you some of the things that people have sent into the show, which you guys are amazing. Beautiful Christmas cards and heartfelt letters and words inside the cards about how much they're enjoying the show. That means a lot, folks. What's in the mug? Well, there were individually wrapped candies that had a peppermint flavor. They were like Christmas candies that Mary had in there. But right now, what's in here is just a little rum and Coke. Hey, our guest came from Ireland. Just a little rum and Coke, very little. And it's very delicious. I usually do not have that in a mug, but we are using the mug because, sometimes we have that fancy martini glass, but just wanted to celebrate Mary. And yes, Pine Island is close to Captiva. It's a beautiful area. And yes, exactly. It's still early. It's 6:38. I can't believe we've been on the show. We've been talking for 3 hours and 32 minutes. We got to have dinner. Fun show today, Jim. You should have Irwin family on. Terry, Bindi. Oh, the Irwins from Australia, right? Yeah. Terry, Bindi, Robert, Chandler, Australia. Well, spread the word, folks. Tell everybody about the Jim Masters Show Live. That helps the show, and we will get more guests on. Sneaky. Didn't you love all that great music last night? Everybody was dancing and tapping their toes to all that cool music, the Brazilian sounds and everything that we had yesterday with Terry Woolman on as our guest. All right, gang, we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. Got to have some dinner here. It's 20 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, we will be back tomorrow on the show with an amazing array of guests tomorrow. Columnist, author, and speaker Heather Dugan's going to be here Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then lots of laughter coming your way as comedian Josh Hyman is going to be here on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, also on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Again, Nathan Carter's here next Sunday. Ireland's leading country music singer, and George Perez is going to be here on Saturday. And then we've got amazing guests Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. So I know. Maybe next time we'll have to do that. Terry was great last night, wasn't he? Jameson and Ginger. Oh, that sounds really, really good. Thanks, Mike and Ken. You have a good night, too. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that with our viewers from all around the world. So, gang, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the levity. Thanks for all the great comments. Again, we thank our cool friend, George Hutton, for joining us here on the show. It was a pleasure having him here. Of course, check out all his great music. And we had a lot of Irish crack on the show today. And cool stuff. Jim Masters here, your host, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time. Oh, you guys, now you're getting into the libations or Guinness and Black. Marjorie Hunter. I think we've hit a nerve there. People liking their libations. Night all from Juanita. Thank you, Juanita. Take care, everyone. From Renee in Iowa. Farewell until tomorrow. I like that. It's never goodbye here, and our goodbyes are always 2.5 hours long. So I toast you and you and you and you and you and you, as we always do here on our show. Take care and be safe. From Kathleen in New York City. Good night all from Gary in Iowa. one of our newest lovities. We love it here on the show, Gary. You're always welcome here. And this is the no judgment zone here. Every age group, every gender, every background, every political, every religious belief, non-religious, whatever. Doesn't matter your zip code, your income, your height, your weight, nothing. Everybody's welcome on the Jim Masters Show Live. It's a place where we're civil, respectful, friendly. We entertain. It's informative. And lots of levity gets spread around the world here. Good night, Jim and my lovely family. See you all tomorrow. Blessings. Farewell till tomorrow. And good night all from Gary in Iowa. And good stuff, gang. You guys are the best. You take care. You be well. Enjoy. Have a good evening or a good day wherever you are around the world. And we will see you tomorrow right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Thanks for being with us. It was another epic show. Share the levity. Share all of the links and connections to our show. And yes, Gary is in Iowa and you're in Iowa and another person living in the breadbasket. I know, that's why I say you guys in the middle of our fabulous country are living in the breadbasket of our country. And you are, Renee, in Iowa, and Gary is in Iowa as well. Good stuff. And you're happy because your Saints are winning. New Orleans, they're winning. Can't wait to open up that box tomorrow. Mona, thank you very much. You're a sweet person and a true Jim Masters Show Live lovity. Take care, all. I think I said that a few times, huh? We will see you tomorrow. All right? Thanks for being with us. Love you all. And thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. We'll see you again soon. Good night.